With Patrick Ewing nursing his sore knee, a different big man turned in a big game for the New York Knicks. Saturday night against the Atlanta Hawks, Herb Williams' 16 points helped the Knicks to an easy victory. Tonight, number 33 will return to the lineup, and his presence is required even more so than usual because David Robinson is visiting the neighborhood. The Admiral leading the NBA in rebounding, and he's fourth in scoring. And he led the way just 9 days ago in San Antonio when the Spurs overwhelmed the Knicks 101-82. Tonight, with Patrick Ewing back, the Knicks will be seeking to extract revenge. We welcome you to Madison Square Garden in New York for the second meeting of the season between the New York Knicks and the San Antonio Spurs. A check of the standings in the Midwest Division. Houston is off to the perfect start with a record of 9-0, followed by a logjam, including San Antonio at 4 up and 3 down. While in the Atlantic Division, the Knicks at 5-3, and they are a half game behind Orlando. Hi, everybody. Marv Albert, along with John Andres. First off, as reported earlier on Knicks game night, Patrick Ewing is back after resting the sore right knee, sitting it out against the Atlanta Hawks on Saturday night. Ewing said he's all right. We'll give it a shot, and he is in the lineup tonight to face David Robinson and the San Antonio Spurs. And with Ewing out of action on Saturday, it was Charles Smith stepping up and assuming the scoring leadership role.
Well, Marv, as Knicks fans know, during the preseason exhibition schedule, Charles Smith got used to playing big for the Knicks. Patrick did not play. He got used to playing with his back to the basket, and he certainly followed through on Saturday night. He played big. Ask Grant Long how that experience was. It seemed Charles punished Grant Long every time he got the ball down low, and he took the ball to the basket. And when other people shot it, he was also hanging around for that slam dunk. Charles Oakley missed it, and Charles was right there. 24 points, 7 out of 13. How about perfection from the foul line, plus 7 rebounds, 5 assists. What a well-rounded game for Charles.
And when the Knicks and San Antonio met at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio 9 days ago, it was David Robinson who had an unstoppable performance. In fact, Robinson, over the first 7 games, off to a very fast start.
Ewing got in foul trouble early, and Robinson coasted the rest of the way. He had it all working also. David Robinson is not a back-to-the-basket classic center. He can do other things, like shoot jump shots, as he did from the corner from that nice pass from Avery Johnson. And he's quick and sly. He moved around. Ewing got the quick return pass from Avery Johnson for a quick 2 points. 35 big points. 13 out of 21 from the field. His foul shooting was excellent. And his league-leading rebounding numbers were also right there. And he had 3 steals as well. Robinson has been playing like that every night.
All right, so coming up, second meeting of the season between the Knicks and the Spurs. And yes, Patrick Ewing is back. He'll make his return. We'll be back with the starting lineups in a moment.
We've been called a lot of things.
Whippersnappers!
Dreamers!
Prosperous?
Never!
So until
the book deal
or the movie deal hits,
we remember 2 things.
Call Everybody Collects.
And
know the code.
Yeah.
Know the code. 1-800-CALL-ATT. It costs less than 1-800-COLLECT.
Always! Now the people we call
might call us thrifty.
Want a price that's always lower than 1-800-COLLECT? Know the code. Dial 1-800-CALLATT.
your true voice.
There have always been explorers, people who go places that no one has ever been. Today's explorers rocket through space, and this time, we're going with them. Destiny in Space, an Omnimax film experience. Looking out to the universe and into the future. Destiny in Space. Prepare to explore the universe.
Now appearing at Liberty Science Center, where science equals fun.
Person has to deliver many gifts. Doesn't want to worry. Doesn't want to break the bank. Goes to post office. Finds out priority mail is a very smart solution. Doesn't cost much. Gets priority handling. Even gets delivered Saturday at no extra charge. Person is impressed. Postal people are helpful. Gifts get delivered. Kids are overjoyed. Person goes home. Gets to spend some quality time with the missus.
We're in show business. We're having fun. We're ringmasters of one of the greatest circuses of all time.
Wow, that's great.
California has a very special meaning around the world. It's about freedom. It's about choices. How about a pizza with potato on it?
Peking duck.
Fried chicken. We have watched where businesses have limited ways in which the customer pays. And when our customer reaches for an American Express card, we gladly accept it.
American Express is welcome wherever fresh ideas are cooking. So dine out, America.
Note software is transforming business.
This level of collaboration, this mind sharing has never been possible before.
10,000 people working in sync.
From Tokyo to Munich to Moscow.
A good idea can come from anywhere, anytime.
More than email, more than document management.
Notes creates a community of shared knowledge.
The entire company is like a virtual team.
Notes software is how work is getting done.
New York Knicks basketball is brought to you by Ice Draft. Taste the future of draft beer. New ice brewed ice draft from Budweiser. By The Card, the American Express card. Don't leave home without it. By Nobody Beats the Wiz Home Entertainment Centers. By Delta Airlines, official airline of Madison Square Garden. And by Citibank, for banking anytime, anywhere, any way you choose. At Citibank, the city never sleeps.
Well, it's the New York Knicks and the San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs coming off their first road win of the season on Saturday night at Minneapolis. We're set for the introduction of the starting lineups.
And your New York Knicks. Here tonight's starting lineups. First for the Spurs. At guard at 5'11" from Southern University, number 6, Avery Johnson. At guard at 6'8" from Georgia, number 40, Willie Anderson. At forward at 6'9" from North Carolina, number 7, J.R. Reed. At forward at 6'8" from Arizona, number 32, Sean Elliott. And at center at 7'1" from Navy, number 50, David Robinson. The trainer is John Anderson. Assistant coaches Hank Egan, Dave Cowens, and Paul Pressey. And the head coach, Bob Hill. And now, please welcome your 1994 Eastern Conference champions, your New York Knicks. At guard at 6'5" from Oklahoma State, number 3, John Starks. At guard at 6'4" from Illinois, number 11, Derek Harper. At forward at 6'10" from Pittsburgh, number 54, Charles Smith. At forward at 6'9" from Virginia Union, number 34, co-captain Charles Oakley. And at center at 7 feet from Georgetown, number 33, co-captain Patrick Ewing. The head trainer is Mike Saunders, the assistant trainer Tim Walsh, assistant coaches Jeff Van Gundy, and the head coach of the Knicks, Pat Riley.
Well, 9 days ago in San Antonio, the Knicks and the Spurs met, and the San Antonio Spurs won in convincing fashion, 101-82. Bob Hill, head coach of the Spurs, was particularly pleased with his team's defensive effort, and we asked him about it.
I thought the last game, though, our defense was really fueled our offense, and that's what really made the difference in the game. We played a quicker paced game, but we really guarded, and we got out and deflected the ball, and our rotations were timely, and the concentration levels were high, and you know, when you play that kind of defense, you're going to score points, and that's kind of how that was born. It wasn't so much that we ran hard after makes or free throws as much as our, you know, off our defense.
Well, they've only played 2 road games, and they won their first one Saturday night against a weak Minnesota team. So Bob has to see if his team can play that kind of defense on the road.
The officials, Ron Garrettson, Louis Grill, and Joe DeRosa. The Knicks in their last game knocked off Atlanta 92-79 following the 1-up 3-down Western Roads swing. The Knicks jumping off to that 10-0 lead, led by as many as 26, and won it going away. And they controlled the opening tip. Avery Johnson guarding Derek Harper. Avery Johnson had a sensational game against the Timberwolves on Saturday night. Here's Oakley squaring up and rebounded by Robinson, who leads the NBA in that department, averaging 15 per game. Robinson off the fake. Air ball thrown up by Robinson.
The Knicks will want to demonstrate the patience and good ball handling and ball movement that they showed on Saturday against Atlanta.
Here is Ewing. And back comes Willie Anderson, who was a question mark for tonight because of a sprained right elbow. So Willie Anderson getting right to it, and the Spurs up 2-0. Ewing double teamed and lost the dribble.
But he put the ball on the floor first, and that got him in trouble.
Sean Elliott from downtown. You recall the game in San Antonio, Patrick Ewing got in very early foul difficulty, and that was also the game that saw the Knicks go into a jump shooting exhibition, which did not please Pat Riley.
It was a very bad flow of play that the Knicks presented. Offensive foul by Derek Harper on that play. But Marv, as you mentioned, Ewing had 2 fouls before San Antonio had scored a basket. He had 2 fouls in the first minute. We'll take a look at the offensive foul drawn by Derek Harper. And that just set the Knicks off badly. Also, Derek Harper himself got in foul trouble. Only played 6 minutes in the first half.
Starks for 3. Well, John Starks trying to turn it around on Saturday against Atlanta. 3 of 11, was 1 of 7 from three-point range, and that was preceded by the 0 for 9 from the field against the Warriors out in Oakland on Thursday. Also, John did not shoot well against the Spurs at the start of the road trip. Ewing again draws the double coverage. Elliott was coming over, trying to cheat, trying to help out, but a nice move by Patrick Ewing.
By the Knicks clearing out, Patrick Ewing got rid of the other people who could take the ball from him. It cleared out the side, so there was no one else to help David Robinson, and that certainly worked well for Patrick.
22nd timeout called by the Spurs. Looking back at the game 9 days ago, there's a key stat. Fast break points. That's unbelievable. Spurs 23-0.
Well, the Knicks took, Marv, as you recall, over 60 jump shots in that game, representing 2/3 or more of their shot attempts from the field. And that's what good scouting and studying of the game does. You see the Knicks assistant coaches always recording shot attempts, and everything is broken down scientifically. And those numbers made Pat Riley sick to his stomach.
You know, Pat Riley said the day after that the game in San Antonio was the worst example of a team falling right into the hands of an opponent. Worst example in the history of his coaching career. To walk into San Antonio and just think, 3-second violation, just to think he can sit back and take jump shots and then not run with the other club, with the home club. He said it sickened him. And that's, of course, not the way you want to start a road trip. Spurs going to the trap here in the early going. Knicks with a 5-2 lead. Smith open. Yes. The Knicks 7 and the Spurs 2.
Good ball movement to the open man. Hit the open man. Boy, the game is real basic when you do that. It gets a lot easier for the Knicks.
Now Robinson. That would have counted had it gone in, as David Robinson was fouled in the act. Fouled by Patrick Ewing. So Robinson to the line. David Robinson averaging 27.6 per game. That is 4th in the league. As we mentioned earlier, leads and rebounds at 15 per game. 3rd in block shots, about 4.5 per game.
As fans might guess, Shaquille O'Neal is leading the NBA in scoring at 32, followed by Latrell Sprewell, a name that will become more and more familiar to Eastern Conference fans as time goes on. The young star led his team against the Knicks the other night.
Are you anticipating a trade to the East, John? Is that what? Are you looking for them in the finals?
I just don't think people know that much about him in the East, Marv.
All right, Ewing, rebounded by Smith. So the Knicks get a new opportunity. Working the ball around very well. Excellent passing. Starks.
Matched by excellent defense, because the Knicks ended up with a rushed shot.
Elliott. Sean Elliott, who had a solid game against the Knicks in San Antonio, brings the Spurs within 1. Smith. Ewing keeping it alive, and he draws the foul. Willie Anderson tried to help out, and he was called for the contact.
We just witnessed an unusual sight, Marv. Patrick Ewing, it looked like he addressed Willie Anderson when Anderson hit the floor and bounced off Ewing. And naturally, you tend to think there's animosity when you see opposing players after a physical play talk to each other. And Ewing leaned over and helped him up. You think Pat Riley will be mad at him?
He usually does not care for that. We saw Charles Oakley help a player up on the road trip, and the fact that we can actually cite instances tells you it is that rare.
Well, it's nice to see some sportsmanship.
Willie Anderson will sit down after collecting his second, replaced by the rifleman, Chuck Person, who had a triumphant return to Minnesota on Saturday night, leading the way for the Spurs. A hot shooting night. He had 23 points. Person had a good streak against the Knicks 9 days ago at the Alamo Dome. Elliott trying to set it up off the dribble against Oakley. And a foul is called against the Knicks. It's on Oakley.
Ever since the Knicks visited Golden State with their terrific one-on-one players, now we've been seeing more and more isolation by Knick opposing teams, as the Atlanta Hawks did a lot on Saturday night.
Charles Oakley doing the job off the boards the last couple of games. John, you get the idea that the Knicks took a very intensive look at the game tape of the Knick Spur game from last week. Starks for 3, because we are seeing the exact opposite in terms of handling the ball, in terms of the entire offensive picture, than what took place in San Antonio.
Yes, the ball is moving quickly. It's being exchanged before the shot by several people.
Chuck Person with a quick release turnaround, and the Knicks now lead 11-8. 5 minutes in. Spurs keep going to the trap. Smith able to save that pass that was intended for Oakley. The Knicks by 5. David Robinson. Nice back tap by Reed. Johnson. Ewing rebound.
Ewing is very careful not to be too aggressive and pick up another foul.
And the foul against the Spurs. Timeout is taken. We'll be right back.
Say go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York!
It's the Knicks versus the Hornets Saturday after a special edition of New York Knicks Game Night on MSG.
New York Jets fans are tired of beating their heads in. So with new hope and new coach Pete Carroll, the boys of Gang Green are pushing for the playoffs. And when it comes to keeping you up to date with the latest Jets news, nobody does it like MSG and the Nobody Beats the Wiz Jets Journal. Boomers back strong, along with Johnny Johnson, Jeff Lagerman, and rookie sensation Aaron Bland. Get a full half hour of interviews, features, and each week's action highlights. Nobody Beats the Wiz Jets Journal, right here on MSG.
I want to know about meeting that special someone.
Sorry, can't help you there.
I want to know more about a diet I can live with.
No way, not in this commercial.
I want to know more about Rogaine.
Rogaine with minoxidil?
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
Okay. Just call this number now for a free information kit on Rogaine topical solution. It could help answer your questions because it's filled with all kinds of facts about Rogaine. And because you need a prescription to get Rogaine, we'll send you a list of local doctors and special money-saving offers to help you decide if Rogaine is right for you.
But I want to know right now.
We'll mail it to you today. So what are you waiting for? Call now for your free information kit. Call 1-800-432-1080.
Well, among those on hand here at the Garden tonight, Mary Tyler Moore sitting with Debbie and Dave Checketts. And along celebrity row, left to right, Michael Douglas, Jay Leonard, and Ranford Marcellus. The Tonight Show on location in Gotham this week.
I guess the show's in the can, Marv, as they say,
yes.
Huh, this hour. You visited Jay, didn't you, a year or so ago?
Did I say Jay Leonard? Jay Leno.
It sounded like that, yes.
Mouth in the wrong position.
The echo got back to you.
Yes. Patrick Ewing giving the Knicks a 15-8 advantage. That was Jay's previous name before he shortened it.
He was also a pitcher for Cincinnati years ago.
Dennis Leonard, think about it. Jeffrey Leonard. Knicks with a 5-point lead. We're halfway through the first quarter. Starks for three. Person for three. Well, Chuck Person, who had the game-high 23 points, 9 of 14 shooting the other night against the Timberwolves, has picked it right up here coming off the bench, replacing Willie Anderson. Nice play, but Starks gets credit. Goaltending the call.
Nice recovery, however, by Sean Elliott in pursuing Starks. There's a Perry Ellis look now. The Ewing handoff. Starks very deceptive. Tipped the ball against the backboard. Elliott did, and that's 2 points for the Knicks.
Reed off the spin. And Ewing with the box out. Ewing now played one-on-one, then helped. And Robinson able to come away with it. Every time the Spurs have doubled up, Ewing has lost the ball. Person from way out.
And Patrick puts the ball on the floor, Marv. It's not good.
Harper. And it won't count. Offensive interference called on Ewing.
Ewing had his hands on the rim as the ball was entering the basket. Beautiful drive by Harper. Patrick could not hold back. And they take that hoop away.
That might not have gone in. Spinning. And appeared to be dropping out. Oh, what a pass from Robinson. Robinson on the hop for Avery Johnson. And the Knicks lead by 2. Oakley on a pretty pass from Ewing. I must say it's been an excellent passing first quarter at both ends of the court. And the foul away from the ball as Starks was battling for possession with Elliott.
The Knicks are also, excuse me, Marv, the Knicks are also getting rewarded for getting the ball up court quickly. They're getting the Spurs off balance before they can set up their defense.
Just under 4 minutes remaining in the first quarter. David Robinson with a nice move. That's his second field goal. He has 6 points. And the Knicks are up by 2. For those who may have just tuned in, Patrick Ewing, who sat out on Saturday with a sore right knee, is back in the lineup. Was thought he would sit out tonight in preparation for the Knicks' next game, which is Saturday afternoon here at the Garden against Charlotte. Knicks take advantage on that poor pass.
Well, it says a lot about Patrick's desire to compete and to compete against David Robinson and the San Antonio Spurs.
J.R. Reed committing the foul. And now Herb Williams, who played well against the Hawks on Saturday, replaces Patrick Ewing. 5 points, 3 rebounds for Ewing. And on Saturday night, 34 minutes of play, 7 of 12, 16 points, 8 rebounds for Herb Williams. Harper. And Avery Johnson let it go. 3 minutes remaining in this opening quarter. And it's the Knicks by 2. Knicks will have a long rest before their next game on Saturday. After the busy schedule, starts with a steal. Harper puts the speed on and hits the reverse. What a gorgeous move. It's the Knicks 21 and the Spurs 17.
By going underneath the basket, Harper left the defense behind him.
Now Herb Williams guarding David Robinson. Robinson goes right at him. It counts, and the foul. Timeout is called with 2:31 left in the first.
Everybody limbo! Tonight's winner limbo's home with Bud Light.
Oh, really? Lord.
Oh, my.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Not low enough.
They speak it in England, France, and Germany. It sounds the same in the U.S. and Mexico as it does in Hong Kong and Tokyo. It's the international language of business. And wherever it's spoken, Delta Airlines can put you right in the middle of the conversation. And then we'll bring you back to that place where you don't have to say a word to be understood. Delta Airlines.
Just a reminder, if you're talking basketball,
Give me the rock, baby! Oh, yeah.
Foot Locker knows exactly what you mean. Sort of.
Yeah.
Foot Locker, where it all begins.
Thank you!
Knicks have picked up where they left off Saturday. They're running very well. There's a Perry Ellis look at Derek Harper on the move. Alert defensive hands by the Knicks, and Derek Harper just splits the court, goes right down the middle, veers off. Big men are around him, but he loses them when he goes under the hoop and up. How smooth by Derek Harper. Patrick Ewing and David Robinson have met several times over the last few years. You look at the numbers between them, and they had 10 career meetings. Now, there have been more meetings, but not when both players have played against each other. These are head-to-head numbers. Look at the points are exact, both averaging 24 a game.
Robinson able to complete the three-point play, and the Knicks lead by 1. Anthony Mason has come on for the first time. Starks eluding Person, changed his mind, And it cost Elliott for Person, who gives it back. Beautiful save. Chuck Person with the save and then the setup. And San Antonio takes a 1-point lead. Here's Mason for Oakley. Rebounded by Williams. Herb Williams providing a 1-point Knick lead. Sean Elliott now up front with David Robinson and Terry Cummings. Big lineup on the floor. Chuck Person and Avery Johnson at the point guard. Robinson lost it.
David Robinson's 6th season, 10 career meetings. His numbers are pretty substantial. He's out rebounding Patrick over the years.
Oakley on the follow.
Robinson does something very, very well, and that is he gets to the foul line, and those numbers show how much more effective he has been by drawing fouls and getting to the line. 86 to 42 in favor of Robinson.
Avery Johnson lost it. Here's Oakley for Mason. And the Knicks are up 27-22. 1 minute remaining. First quarter. Robinson. So David Robinson has 11. Knicks have done a good job controlling the boards in this first quarter. San Antonio, despite the absence of Dennis Rodman, has hung in terms of the rebounding department. Several guys, including Robinson, have stepped it up. Harper able to split through to set it up.
Can't ask for more out of a point guard than setting up someone for a shot like that, as he did for Herb Williams.
Dennis Rodman is still on the San Antonio suspended list. Terry Cummings. Rodman has been granted a leave of absence for personal reasons, but is still being paid. I asked anything new, and obviously nothing was the answer.
Well, I asked Dave Cowens, an assistant coach, before the game, and he says I think that he's going to be back soon.
Soon.
That was his opinion.
Harper. People I talked to say it did not look promising. Cummings. That would have been too late. And the Knicks, after one, have a 27-26 lead on the Spurs.
Table 7 and 8. And remember, 7, you're playing for Bud Light, ladies. The boys are back in town.
These guys are good.
Who are you calling guys?
Yeah.
Looks like you're in the finals. Ma'am, for the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
You're the defending ladies pool champion?
Yes, I am.
Bart and I are going to make you real happy. Right, Bart?
Right, Phil.
We're going to save you a lot of money. Right, Bart?
Right, Phil. How?
Whiz Bucks, Bart. Giant size savings from Nobody Beats the Whiz.
Giant size savings, Phil?
Over $2,000, Bart. TVs, camcorders, computers, audio components, cameras, cellular phones, music and movies.
Just cut out the Whiz Bucks and save money. Right, Phil?
Right, Bart. Whiz Bucks, a giant-sized way of saying nobody beats the Whiz.
You'll see them in a full range of colors, along with black and white, by the edge of the ocean and under it. And these faces all have one thing in common. You'll find them in Florida. There are over 4 million miles of roads in Alamo territory, and every day with every car nationwide, only Alamo gives you all those miles for free, including the ones in Florida, a place full of faces that will bring a smile to yours.
Oops, excuse me, pardon me. Oops, coming through. Oops, out of my way. Alley, oops, NBA Live 95, EA Sports.
New York Knicks basketball is brought to you in part by Toyota. I love what you do for me, Toyota. And by Coca-Cola. Always jammin', always Coca-Cola.
Welcome back to Madison Square Garden in the front row here, end court with Alan Steinfeld, who heads up the New York Roadrunners Club. And of course, in the memory of Fred Lebo, the New York City Marathon delivered a very, very impressive showing but it took the wrong turn, actually, of a Herman Silva to create a marathon that no one will forget very easily.
Yeah, we thought it was wonderful. I was on the finish line just saying, oh, ... and then all of a sudden he came in and he won. We would have split the prize money between first and second, but you can't split a Mercedes in half.
Now, Alan, you have a chance now with the New York Roadrunners Club and future marathons to put your mark on what Fred did for this race. Do you plan any changes that anyone would notice in the years to come? Do you have a vision?
Well, not yet. Fred and I worked closely together for the last 10 years, so even though I was behind the scenes, the vision was the two of us. We certainly want to maintain the common touch, which is what Fred did, and put more bells and whistles in, because that's what Fred wanted.
Okay, thanks a lot. Alan Steinfeld of the New York Roadrunners Club, and Marv, he tells John to stay away from the reservoir.
Yes. Good advice, John. Second quarter is underway, and the Knicks with a 27-26 lead.
Which will not be heated, Marv. Let's make that clear. Who can stay away from the reservoir?
Robinson off the head fake. Greg Anthony has come on for the first time. It's Anthony and Starks in the backcourt. Herb Williams, Charles Smith, Anthony Mason up front. Strong move by Smith. So the ball goes back to New York.
You wonder how Charles could miss that. He made such a terrific move getting to the hoop. It appeared perhaps that the ball just slipped out of his hands.
Chris Whitney has checked in for the first time for the San Antonio Spurs. Mason posting up. Anthony Mason, it counts, and the foul.
Mason is so tough. You know, he's always on that borderline of an offensive foul with his great strength and his desire to go to the basket. A person tried very hard not to give him any room, which is why Mason was able to succeed. Now, it might be a different story with Moses Malone in there. Moses, one of the great bodyers around the basket.
Great bodyers, huh?
Boy, he's the master of punishing the defensive player and drawing the foul.
Coining yet another phrase in the lexicon of basketball, and I'd have to say life in general.
It just slipped out, Marv. I gave it no thought. Came up with a nothing word.
As we can tell. The Knicks by 3. And again, the Spurs either look to trap or threaten to trap. Herb Williams playing with so much added confidence off the outing he had here on Saturday.
You're right, Marv. He's playing with verve.
Pushing foul on Mason. The Knicks with a 31-26 lead. We're early second quarter. Marv Albert with the Wordmeister, John Andres, Al Troutwig. Old Clyde Frazier will join us at halftime. Here's Cummings from deep. Spurs not getting good shots. Moses Malone playing with the glass. Little volleyball effect by Moses for his first bucket. And the Knicks lead by 3. Here's the trap again on Anthony. Straightaway three-pointer for Greg Anthony, who comes up hobbling. Try to walk it off. The Knicks by 6 points. Greg Anthony hanging in against Chris Whitney. Person for 3. Sharp Person with 8 points. So he again has provided instant offense. That's the case last week in San Antonio.
He needs very little room. He had 4 for 8 the other night against Minnesota while leading this team in scoring.
Three minutes gone by, second quarter. Cummings fouled by Smith. So Charles Smith is called for his first. And Patrick Ewing checks back in. And Herb Williams hears it from the crowd. Nice job by Herb. Hit 2 of 4, 4 points.
Hey, when you get a pat on the back from Pat Riley when you come off the floor, you know you're doing well.
So Terry Cummings to the line. Terry Cummings in his 13th NBA season out of DePaul. And is number 5 in terms of field goal percentage. Guy who's had injury problems in recent seasons. Charles Smith able to get down court to give the Knicks a 4-point lead.
Nick guards with their heads up, always looking for the open man.
Willie Anderson now guarded by Hubert Davis. Anthony Mason off the steal. And Davis stripped. Good play by Whitney. Anderson for Cummings. Anthony Mason with the strong defensive work. There's J.R. Reed, who had a season-high 15 in the earlier meeting in San Antonio. J.R. has replaced Terry Cummings.
Mason end-to-end so strong on that last sequence after the steal he made. Patrick Ewing to work on Moses Malone, and with the double team, Patrick sees the open Greg Anthony.
The Knicks 38, the Spurs 32. Malone feeling around for Ewing. Whitney for 3. Knicks want to run. Spurs got back. Smith. Oh, what a great move. Charles Smith with 8 points, and the Knicks lead 40-32.
It seems, Marv, about 7-8 times out of 10 when a player makes a preceding move to a shot as nicely as Smith did, the ball doesn't go in. Well, it was all together on that move for Charles Smith.
Leg block and a new 24 for the Spurs. The Knicks come in at 5-3, second in the Atlantic Division, a half game behind the Orlando Magic, who are 5 up and 2 down. Orlando at home tonight from Miami, and they're up 21-19 in the first quarter. Moses from way out. Moses Malone in his 21st professional season, 39 years old, and showing us the touch from deep. Knicks by 6. Ewing going at Malone. Tried the finger roll. Reed, played by Smith. J.R. blocked by Smith. Person for 3. No hesitation from the rifleman. Hubert Davis, yes. And the Knicks lead 42-34. San Antonio will talk it over. Timeout taken.
I don't get it. Some guy bets $228 and makes $3 million.
Can you imagine what Willie Mays would be worth today?
Yeah.
No holiday sweepstakes.
Another Heineken, right?
Yeah, please.
No blimp with our name on it. No racing team.
Hey, Mays.
None of that is what made Heineken the #1 imported beer in America.
Where's all that money come from?
Ticket prices.
Yeah, I guess.
And all those beer commercials.
Nobody Beats the Wiz wants you to imagine your favorite Christmas story live on stage. Imagine a new musical from the composer of Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast. Imagine A Christmas Carol, the brand new holiday tradition. At the Paramount Madison Square Garden, November 23rd through January 1st. A Christmas Carol is proudly presented by Nobody Beats the Wiz.
Debbie, these shots are fabulous.
Beautiful, Debbie.
better than the last time, Tony?
Absolutely. It's my job to make sure people look good. A few weeks ago while doing test shots with Debbie, I noticed something. Dandruff. So I told her about Head & Shoulders. You see, regular shampoos merely rinse flakes away, so they could come back. But look, Head & Shoulders help stop flakes from even forming. See the difference? Yeah, picture perfect. Head & Shoulders turns dandruff problems into beautiful hair.
Wednesday at 8 p.m., join Al Troutwig for an inside look at the Leland Auction House, where sports memorabilia such as Mickey Mantle's childhood home will be auctioned off. That's the Al Troutwig Show, Wednesday at 8 p.m., right here on the MSG Network.
And a fine-looking portrait of Al. Just keep it up there a little longer, huh?
I don't think Al would argue.
Yeah, no. Well, what are we saying here, John?
You can make your own judgment. I think Al will go along.
Knicks by 8 with 6 minutes to go in the first half. David Robinson making it look easy on a give and go. So David Robinson with 13 points.
Ewing with only 1 foul is very sensitive to not committing fouls, but he's got to be a little more defensive than he was on that last play.
Reed called for the foul, his second. The Knicks with Ewing, Smith, and Mason on the front line. Anthony and Davis in the backcourt. It's been a good first half. Excellent passing by both teams. Knicks shooting 54%. San Antonio just under 50. Reed with the steal. Sean Elliott. Greg Anthony with a change of pace, and it was knocked away. Last touch by the Spurs. Davis used the pick from Ewing, sets it up for Smith. Ewing, strong move on a reverse.
Sure looked good.
He went right at Robinson. Robinson played by Mason and knocked it away. Here's Davis. Hubert Davis missed the layup. Anthony Mason is right there. What a play, though, by Anthony Mason, who switched off to David Robinson.
A lot of guys had rest after that nice play, but he kept going and got the rewards by finishing the play.
The Knicks by 8. And it will be Nick Ball. Here comes Charles Oakley. And we're told the special shoe from the people at Nike to help him with the dislocated toe will be arriving tomorrow. Al Troutwig passing that on. So the much publicized shoe on its way, John.
That's an old story that Charles is sick of addressing every day. Everyone he sees asks him, is the shoe in, Charles? Charles wasn't ready to play. He's been getting dressed ever since he got out in the court here, Marv. Tucking the shirt in, fixing the little rope around his shorts.
Davis for 3. The Knicks have an 8-point lead, just under 4 minutes remaining first half. Willie Anderson got the step. J.R. Reed. Crowd wanted to travel. And the Knicks lead is now 6. Well, when that specially designed shoe does arrive, it will be the most photographed, the most seen shoe in the world of sports, because, you know, that's all we'll be hearing about throughout the week. In particular, with the Knicks not playing again until Saturday. Kick ball, Knicks will get a new 24.
Can you imagine, Marv, for 1 minute if the shoe doesn't work?
A lot of pressure there.
A lot of pressure on Nike. More on Nike than Charles, I think, because Charles is playing fine without it.
I get the feeling Charles better say it works, even if he has to switch to his normal shoe. Ewing lost it. That's his 4th turnover.
All preceded by dribbles.
The Knicks 44 and the Spurs 38. Robinson looking for the move. Batted away by Oakley and a foul call.
When a player makes such a clear block, it's like, let the defense have it. I mean, it was so clear that Oakley had his hand all over that basketball. And the momentum, it might have looked like Reed got fouled the way he fell down, but it really was the force of him being driven down by the ball being slapped out of his hands.
So J.R. Reed hits on both. The Knicks lead by 4. 3 minutes to go. First half. Again, the threat of the trap as Hopper moved it across. Starks. Ewing shooting. Rebound Oakley. Oh, look away pass from Oakley for Mason, who's fouled. Beautiful pass from Charles Oakley. We'll be right back.
Say go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York!
It's the Knicks versus the Hornets Saturday after a special edition of New York Knicks Game Night on MSG.
December fires up a great month of holiday sports action on MSG Network. The New York Knicks tip off against some NBA powerhouses. They take on the New Jersey Nets, the Cleveland Cavaliers, plus Grant Hill and the Detroit Pistons. Tune in to MSG before most Knicks games and catch the pregame show that brings you all the latest info. Al Trotwick hosts Knicks Game Night. College basketball kicks into high gear with one of the biggest events of the season. Don't miss all the action as St. John's battles in the Chemical Bank ECAC Holiday Festival from the Garden. Stay tuned after most Knicks home games and catch some of the biggest stars in sports and showbiz. Mike Francesa and Kathleen Murphy host live from the play-by-play. Stay on top of all the New York Jets news with interviews, features, and highlights on the Nobody Beats the Wiz Jets Journal. Take full swings at today's hard-hitting sports issues with the man who pulls no punches. Bob Page hosts Page One. Plus, you can always get all the scores and stories every night with MSG Sports Desk. Have a holiday slam with all the great December sports action on MSG Network, the best in the game.
Imagine your favorite Christmas story live on stage. Imagine a new musical from the composer of Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast. Imagine the story of Scrooge with ghosts that fly over your head. Imagine A Christmas Carol, the brand new holiday tradition. The story surrounds you, the spirits astound you. At the Paramount, Madison Square Garden, November 23rd through January 1st. Call Ticketmaster today. Proudly presented by Nobody Beats the Wiz.
Well, following our coverage of Knicks basketball, live from the play-by-play, a star-studded lineup. Ava Gabor, Al Franken from Saturday Night Live, plays Stuart Smalley. And there they are, on hand to our left. Dan Rather, CBS Evening News will be on hand. Jackie Mason will have his NFL picks. And there is one of the great actors
of our day.
Yes, of our day.
And our nights.
Yes. Tommy Lee Jones, Academy Award winner for his role in The Fugitive. Outstanding in The Client. And he'll be portraying Ty Cobb in a movie to be released at a later date, John.
It looked like he was very pensively going over the idea. If I have to play a NBA player sometime, how am I going to get into that one? We just wanted you to hear the force of the Charles Oakley hand on J.R. Reed as he drove to the basket with that block. Oakley's hand on the ball made quite a sound.
And the foul is called. The Knicks with a 6-point lead. Mason called for his second. 2:35 remaining in this first half. You've had several sessions, haven't you, with Stu Smalley? Professional sessions?
I have.
Come back! Recovered by Elliott.
Changed my life.
I can tell. J.R. Reed. 6 points for Reed. And the Knicks lead by 4. The trap on Hopper. Oakley going all the way. Anderson took a shot. But no, offensive foul is called. It's a charge on Anderson, so that is his third foul.
Willie Anderson with running room got 90% of the way to success, and then the offensive foul was picked up.
Starks for Ewing, who immediately faces the double team. Shot clock at 4. Knicks at one point led by as many as 8. It's been close throughout.
See, Mason doesn't allow Person to line up that long shot that he wants.
Avery Johnson penetrating and then kicked it out to J.R. Reed. Ewing. Patrick Ewing going right at Chuck Person to give the Knicks a 48-42 lead.
I must say, Marv, Ewing is playing this first half with great energy.
Ewing with 7 points and 4 rebounds. And remember, he was a question mark because of the sore right knee. Person for 3. Chuck Person from downtown. He has 11. And the Spurs are within 3. San Antonio 7 of 19 from the field here in the second quarter. The Knicks 9 of 19. The shooting has fallen off after the fast start. And the foul against the Spurs. It's on Elliott. So that is 3 on Elliott. 3 apiece on Elliott, and Anderson and Starks will go to the line. Corey Crowder, second-year man from Kentucky Wesleyan, who was just recently re-signed by the Spurs, now checking in, replacing Sean Elliott. Crowder spent last year with Barcelona in the Spanish League, played in Italy for a couple of years. Spent a year with the Utah Jazz. And John, that's all you have to know about Corey Crowder. A little profile for you.
Thank you.
Avery Johnson way off. And it will be San Antonio ball. .28 seconds remaining in the half. And the foul is called. Starks protesting and very fortunate he was not hit with a technical as he was called for the foul.
Boy, that's amazing. He didn't get the technical call.
A very compassionate Luis Grillo choosing to look away as Crowder goes to the line. Crowder making his first appearance at the line this season. And now Anthony Mason sits down. Here's the reaction by John Starks.
Well, the judgment is that John didn't keep going. Had he taken another step in arguing the call, it undoubtedly would have been a technical, but he pulled off quickly.
Knicks by 4. 15 seconds left in the half. 2-second differential with the shot clock. Ewing. Avery Johnson fires it off the shot clock. So that's the end of the half, with the Knicks leading the Spurs 50-46, and a dramatic turnaround in terms of fast break points from what we saw 9 days ago in San Antonio. It's the Knicks 50, the Spurs 46. Bob Page coming up at the MSG Sports Desk.
And next week is my 5th wedding anniversary. It's unbelievable how time flies.
Did you get her a present yet?
Yeah, I'm getting her a really nice washer and dryer.
Oh, come on. She'll never forgive you. You gotta get her something for her.
It is for her.
No blondes in bikinis.
Get a jewel.
No sales pitch from the chairman.
Or vacation.
None of that is what made Heineken the #1 imported beer in America.
You think I should take her someplace special?
Definitely.
So maybe I'll take her to Cooperstown.
No.
Note software is transforming business.
This level of collaboration, this mind sharing has never been possible before.
10,000 people working in sync.
From Tokyo to Munich to Moscow.
A good idea can come from anywhere, anytime.
More than email, more than document management.
Notes creates a community of shared knowledge.
The entire company is like a virtual team. Notes software is how work is getting done.
We give birth to the product. The customer gives life to it. We need the dreams of the people. If people stop dreaming, we would be useless. You know, there was the time where some customer would pay with a piece of paper, I owe Hermes. Then another one said, I have the same, but it's called American Express. Why not?
American Express can give life to a lot of dreams. We even know how to make them come true. Announcing the Dodge Intrepid Equipment Sale, where you can choose the extras to help you enjoy the view, cruise along, feel secure, put your foot down, and still flex your muscles. Throw in a discount from package value, and for only $199 a month, you can lease this remarkable car during the Dodge Intrepid Equipment Sale.
There are a lot of men's stores in New York where you can buy expensive clothes expensively. But in all New York, there's just one least expensive way to buy expensive men's clothes. Rothman's.
Bart's going to show you how easy it is to save big money with WizBucks. Let's clip them, Phil. WizBucks, a giant-sized way of saying nobody beats the Wiz.
This copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the NBA.
The Knicks led by as many as 8. Their halftime lead is 4. It's 50-46 halftime between the Knicks and the San Antonio Spurs. Welcome back to the Garden, everybody. As we begin our halftime coverage, I'll be joined by Walt Clyde Frazier in a matter of moments. We'll tell you who scored how many and have the highlights. But first, we bring you this update with Bob Page at the MSG Sports Desk.
Thank you, Al. Good evening again, everybody. After deciding for reasons known only to them to totally tear apart their basketball team and start over, the Miami Heat are 1-6 out of the gate so far. Don't figure tonight at Orlando, where indeed they trail the Magic by 7 very late in the second quarter. Brian Hill and company coming off that Friday night win at New Jersey. Shaq hit his first 5 shots in this one. Nick Anderson feeds him for the slam. O'Neal had 12 points in the first quarter alone. Magic led 33-27 going into the second, where Matt Geiger on the give-and-go dunks to cut a lead to 6 at that time. Again, the margin now is 7 late second quarter. Members of the Heat organization, no doubt closely monitoring the progress or lack of same that Terry DeHere and the Los Angeles Clippers are making. The Clips are 0-9, now 8 losses away from Miami's all-time NBA record of 17 straight losses to start a season. DeHere and company dropped the first 2 of those games to Terry's former college coach at Seton Hall, P.J. Carlissimo, when the Clippers and the Portland Trail Blazers opened the year in Japan.
I've seen a lot of things on the sideline that I didn't see in the 4 years I was there at Seton Hall. He was really positive with the guys out there in Portland, giving them hands, good job. It was nice. I mean, he did a great job, and I think he'll be a successful NBA coach. I had to turn around and see, was it really him or was it an assistant shotting these nice things out? But it all worked for the better.
Also in the NBA, Phoenix point guard Elliot Perry, playing for the injured Kevin Johnson, today named Player of the Week. I'll be back right after these messages.
Sports Desk is brought to you by Alamo. There are over 4 million miles of roads in Alamo territory, and with Alamo, all those miles are free.
You'll see them in a full range of colors, along with black and white, by the edge of the ocean and under it. And these faces all have one thing in common. You'll find them in Florida. There are over 4 million miles of roads in Alamo territory. And every day with every car nationwide, only Alamo gives you all those miles for free, including the ones in Florida, a place full of faces that will bring a smile to yours.
Then I bring it back out because I want to embarrass him. I want to shake him and fake him. And I'm looking at his face saying, what you want me to do, make a layup, make a jump shot? Make up your mind. What you want me to do? Bam, bam, bam. I'm going through my legs twice. Then I'm going to reverse, hesitate, stop. I freeze him. Then I pull up on him. Then I back up on him. Yeah. Come on, now. Oh, you ain't guarding me. Here I go. Oh, no, I'm back again. Now I thought you was guarding me. I'm saying, now, let's go push up now. Push up. Oh, he's in the air. I done faked him, but I come back to fake him again. I'm going to the basket, laying it up, behind my back, double reverse fake, head fake. I'm looking at him and saying, man, you can't guard me. I got so many moves. Last game, I shook myself.
Debbie, these shots are fabulous. Beautiful, Debbie.
Better than the last time, Tony?
Absolutely. It's my job to make sure people look good. A few weeks ago while doing test shots with Debbie, I noticed something. Dander. So I told her about Head & Shoulders. You see, regular shampoos merely rinse flakes away, so they could come back. But look, Head & Shoulders help stop flakes from even forming. See the difference? Yeah, picture perfect. Head & Shoulders turns dandruff problems into beautiful hair.
Sports Desk is brought to you by Head & Shoulders and Head & Shoulders Dry Scalp. Turns dandruff problems into great-looking hair.
Could be 2 weeks, could be 5 weeks. That's the word from Troy Aikman himself on the knee sprain he suffered yesterday that will keep him out of action for at least that period of time. Backup Rodney Peete is going to miss the Thanksgiving Day game. That means former Princeton star Jason Garrett will start in his place. And today the Cowboys signed Mike Pagel as a backup. And Gary Gibbs has resigned as Oklahoma head football coach, citing shame, harassment of his family by fans, no replacement name. Stay tuned. We'll go back to courtside after again this time out.
Picture yourself 20 years from now. Will you be comfortable? Happy? Chase can help. We make available a wide range of investment alternatives, including the Vista family of mutual funds. Call today, so when it's time to stop and smell the roses, you can enjoy the whole garden. Stop by or call 1-800-CHASE. Chase Manhattan.
Hi, John Reese from Dunwoody, Georgia writes, I love Snapple. I want to know if you have a mascot, and if not, could I be it? All right.
If he wants to be a mascot, he has to train hard, he has to be physical. Just wearing a costume is a lot of work because the head might be too heavy. You have to have an attitude to be successful, to be great. You have to have an attitude to be a mascot. We're proud of you, John. Thanks.
When I want the news, I want it fast.
24 hours a day. Get it first. Get it fast. Get it now on 1010 Wins.
You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Bart's going to show you how easy it is to save big money with WizBucks. Let's clip them, Phil. WizBucks, a giant-sized way of saying nobody beats the Wiz.
He grew up a kid from Brooklyn during the 30s, starred on some of the best Yankee teams ever. Fans have laughed and rooted with him in their homes for the past 40 years. First Fidelity Bank, in association with the Daily News, are proud sponsors of Scooter, the Phil Rizzuto story, a home video that takes a warm look at the newest Yankee Hall of Famer. To order your VHS copy, call 1-800-9-YANKS-9. That's 1-800-9-YANKS-9.
It's the Knicks and you know we're amazing. Catch all the action on our #1 station. For Knickerbocker games, there's one place to be. It's the New York Knicks on MSG. MSG, yeah, we got it going on. With Oakley and Ewan playing all season long. And the rest of the crew on the station that kicks. It's MSG and the New York Knicks. Say go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go!
It's the Knicks versus the Hornets, Saturday after a special edition of New York Knicks Game Night on MSG.
New York, go!
A lousy night outside. Glad you could be with us on this interesting night inside. 50-46 Knicks in front. The leading scorer summary brought to you by Eagle. Test drive an Eagle at your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer or call 1-800-2-TEST-EAGLE. First, the story for the leading Knicks. John Starks leading the way with 10 points, 3 of 5 from the floor. After that, single digits all the way. 9 Knicks played, all 9 scored. Anthony Mason, very impressive off the bench with 8 points and 2 rebounds. For the San Antonio Spurs, David Robinson leads the way, 13 points. Chuck Person has 11. J.R. Reed, very strong inside with 6. Al Troutwig along with Walt Clyde Frazier. And Clyde, this was a very interesting game because the pace was amazingly fast, and yet the defense with that pace was still very good to watch.
Well, that's true. Both teams are very focused on the defense, and I thought both teams was thriving in the transition game because of the turnovers.
Well, let's take a look at the highlights from the first half. We'll start it off with Charles Smith.
He continues his prodigious play, this time filling the lane with a stuff shot.
I mentioned Anthony Mason off the bench. He knows that the play isn't over until it's really over.
Right, Mace doing an outstanding job, averaging about 30 minutes a game. Watch Davis miss it, but Mason hustling back as the recipient.
And he started that play with the steal. Now David Robinson, he's getting his points.
Yeah, averaging 15 rebounds. This time the 7-1 Robinson in his neighborhood.
Clyde, when your nickname is the Rifleman, you got to shoot straight, and Chuck is.
He was named after Chuck Connors' person. Well, Chuck Connors, and Chuck is live and in person tonight from downtown.
When you got through it, I liked it. He was live and in person. Very nice. Glad we got on the radio. We'll be back with Marvin John on the call of the second half with the Knicks up 4 in front of a star-studded crowd at the Garden.
You take it. No, you take it. You take it. No, you take it. Lightning quick passes. NBA Live 95. EA Sports.
New York Jets fans are tired of beating their heads in. So with new hope and new coach Pete Carroll, the boys of Gangrene are pushing for the playoffs. And when it comes to keeping you up to date with the latest Jets news, nobody does it like MSG and the Nobody Beats the Wiz Jets Journal. Boomers back strong, along with Johnny Johnson, Jeff Lagerman, and rookie sensation Aaron Glenn. Got a full half hour of interviews, features, and each week's action highlights. Nobody Beats the Wiz Jets Journal, right here on MSG. December fires up a great month of holiday sports action on MSG Network. The New York Knicks tip off against some NBA powerhouses. They take on the New Jersey Nets, the Cleveland Cavaliers, plus Grant Hill and the Detroit Pistons. Tune in to MSG before most Knicks games and catch the pregame show that brings you all the latest info. Al Troutwig hosts Knicks Game Night. College basketball kicks into high gear with one of the biggest events of the season. Don't miss all the action as St. John's battles in the Chemical Bank ECAC Holiday Festival from the Garden. Stay tuned after most Knicks home games and catch some of the biggest stars in sports and showbiz. Mike Francesa and Kathleen Murphy host live from the play-by-play. Stay on top of all the New York Jets news with interviews, features, and highlights on the Nobody Beats the Wiz Jets Journal. Take full swings at today's hard-hitting sports issues with the man who pulls no punches. Bob Page hosts Page One. Plus, you can always get all the scores and stories every night with MSG Sports Desk. Have a holiday slam with all the great December sports action on MSG Network, the best in the game.
We're amazing. Catch all the action on our #1 station. For Knickerbocker games, there's one place to be. It's the New York Knicks on MSG. MSG, yeah, we got it going on. With Oakley and Ewan playing all season long. And the rest of the crew on the station that kicks. It's MSG and the New York Knicks. Say go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go!
It's the Knicks versus the Hornets, Saturday after a special edition of New York Knicks Game Night on MSG.
New York, go!
New York Knicks basketball is brought to you in part by the United States Postal Service. We deliver smart solutions for you. And by MetLife. Get Met, it pays.
Back at the Garden in the spirit of all the celebrities here, I'm going to try, Marv, if you'll bear with me, my best Jay Leno impersonation. Here goes.
All right, here it is. Let's throw it now to Marvin John. Hey, how was that? Not bad, huh?
Wow. That Al is so good. Excellent. Excellent. And thanks to Jay Leno.
Very nice. Very nicely done.
It is a very entertaining first half and a star-studded crowd on hand here at the Madison Square
Mark,
Garden.
speaking about entertainment, it's my understanding that you did a little work for CBS recently.
Well, don't look at it like that. It's a sitcom. That's,
a show called Love and War, which features Jay Thomas. It's going to run next Monday night, I understand. And I was wondering if you happen to bring a clip along.
It was my Strasbourg effect, and yes.
You know, Meg, I read your column. You know sports. I know you realize it's not just a game. It means something to the players, to the the fans, to the entire world of basketball. I think you know why I'm here.
I can't do it. I can't sleep with Dave, Marv.
Now, Meg, I think what we have here is an attitude problem.
Meg laughs, John. You know, it's between myself and Johnny Depp. And, you know, these things happen.
They went for the worst actor, right? Now, how many takes did that, honestly, how many takes? 17, 18?
Several takes. When you have some time, I'll explain the way the sitcom is done, which to me was the most interesting part of spending the day in Hollywood.
It looked to me like you had an acting coach, Marv.
I did.
You did for that?
They refer to him as a dialogue coach. And I think people will be just dying to see this next week. As we check out, getting back to reality, the shooting percentages in the first half, Spurs at 45% and the Knicks at 47%. From downtown, the Spurs 3 for 9. Chuck Person had the hot hand. He had all three. Fast break points. This is a turnaround from the meeting last week in San Antonio. The Knicks looking to do it on the break. And the Knicks with a 50-46 lead as we get the third quarter underway. And it's called a jump ball. Tie up.
Here's our Toyota matchup of the evening, featuring the centers for both teams. Patrick Ewing, 7 points, not shooting the ball that well, not as well as David Robinson, who has 13 points. Robinson also leading in the rebounding department.
Avery Johnson at the point guard position, matched with Derek Harper. Up front, David Robinson, along with Sean Elliott, J.R. Reed. Here's Robinson. He thought he was fouled. They have had a point. Charles Smith putting on moves and draws the foul. It's on Sean Elliott, and that is number 4 on Elliott.
It's amazing to see the message that Charles Smith sends when he gets the ball down low now. I mean, he expects success. He wants the ball. And his body language is amazingly different than it has been in his prior couple of years with the Knicks.
Sean Elliott replaced by Chuck Person. And Patrick Ewing, facing the double team, was fouled. It's on Reed. That's his third.
A lot of bumping preceded that foul call. Ewing had to work for that call.
So Patrick Ewing to the line. He's 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Patrick Ewing sitting it out on Saturday against the Atlanta Hawks. Only the 8th game that he has missed in his 8-year NBA career.
Boy, if he had a sore knee, Marv, over the weekend, he's shaking it off because he's playing with real freedom out there tonight, physically.
The Knicks by 6. A minute gone by in the third. Person, a forced shot, but he is on fire.
Well, you can't complain about Charles Smith's defense. He was all over Person.
13 points for Chuck Person. Ewing. Patrick Ewing extending with the baseline move.
Pick and roll to perfection, Marv. Excuse me.
And the Knicks lead by 6. Here's Smith. The officials checking it out. Last touch by the Spurs. Starks for 3. Reed with the hustle play. Avery Johnson way off. And here's it from the crowd. Avery Johnson had an excellent game against the Timberwolves. Saturday night, 16 points, season high of 15 assists, and hit 7 of 7 from the floor. Well, Derek Harper with his second field goal. He has 4. Leads to Bob Hill calling for time. The Knicks with an 8-point lead.
Dear Diary, today it's sunny and noisy.
Iggy, you see what I see? We're safe!
Hey, what are you looking at?
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Things you charge on your credit card could earn free Sunoco gasoline. Introducing the Sunoco MasterCard with no annual fee. For years, your credit card purchases have fueled the economy. It's time they fueled your car. Call 1-800-4SUNOCO to apply.
Special Toyota news. Your Toyota dealer's having an inventory reduction sale. To reduce inventory before January, every Toyota must go. That means huge savings on every new Corolla. Get huge option package savings. Lease a new 95 Corolla for only $189 a month. $189 a month. Corolla dependability, Corolla quality, Corolla value you can't beat. Or buy with no down payment, no payments until next year. Don't miss the savings. Your Toyota dealer's inventory sale absolutely ends December 5th.
Derek Harper, Avery Johnson here tonight. Both players have something in common. We take a look now at Derek Harper working the sideline, faking the drive, coming back for the jump shot, right on target. Both guys going against each other. Players to raise scoring average in each of the first 7 seasons. Alex English, Kevin McHale, Derek Harper, and right now Avery Johnson in his 7th season on the verge of accomplishing that feat as well. There's Alex English. Alex, a regular here at the Garden, one of the NBA's great scorers.
2.5 gone by in the third quarter, and the Knicks have an 8-point lead. Avery Johnson. Well, Avery Johnson with only his second field goal. He has 4 points, 2 of 6 from the floor, and the Knicks lead by 6.
Alex English, by the way, is a member of the NBA staff. That's why we see him so often here at the Garden.
Ewing. The Knicks with a 58-50 lead. Patrick Ewing with 13 points. Oakley jumping out on a switch. It left Reed open and run into by Ewing. Now there's no question as you look at the Knicks offense tonight that an effort has been made to swing the ball, to pass the ball, to have as many people touch the ball on each possession.
Oh, backdoor play. Charles Smith in pursuit. Chuck Person going right to the basket, getting that return pass beautifully.
So the Knicks now lead by 6. Reed tried to steal it from behind, and he stepped out of bounds. The Knicks seeking to make it a record of 4-0 here at Madison Square Garden. On the road, 2 up and 3 down. Coming off the Western swing in which they lost 3 out of 4. Smith posting. Starks for Ewing. And a traveling violation.
Patrick claiming he didn't lift the foot off the ground, committing the violation. Meanwhile, Patrick, despite the sore knee, Marv, led the Knicks in minutes played in the first half with 18.
Pass from Robinson was off the mark. Starks, yes. The Knicks 60 and the Spurs 52. You get the idea. Every time Chuck Person gets the ball, he's within range, as long as he is beyond the midcourt line. Reed from deep.
Pat Riley hopes that his defensive players understand that as well.
Hopper resetting it. Hopper and Starks. And the backcourt, Ewing, Smith, Oakley up front. Knicks not forcing shots. Shot clock down to 2. Crowd wanted to travel on Person. Oakley now guarding Robinson. And a foul is called. Charles Oakley committing his third.
That would not have surprised many onlookers if it was called an offensive foul, the way Robinson clobbered Oakley.
Terry Cummings replacing J.R. Reed. J.R. Reed with another solid effort against the Knicks. So David Robinson to the line. He's 2 of 3 at the foul line.
David in double figures these days with foul shooting attempts as usual. Let's take a look at Robinson forcing his way in. Looks a little more in line with what the officials saw on this play. Looked like he clobbered Oakley, which he did, but he's entitled to go to the basket in his field goal attempt. In that case, the defensive man, Oakley, was moving also.
Smith gets inside. Charles Smith with an array of strong moves here tonight.
You don't hear it often, Marv, but he is wheeling and dealing better than ever.
Wheeling and dealing, is he? And David Robinson with 17 points. I don't know, John, with all the Hollywood types that are on hand here, I have a feeling your mind has been affected tonight.
Well, Charles Smith's been affected. He is moving with such confidence around the basket.
Knicks now by 6 points. Robinson off the fake, and he is fouled, a blocking foul on Ewing. That's his third. Robinson does not have any fouls.
Robinson can play like a forward. He'll face his man. Goes baseline, drawing the contact.
Non-shooting foul called. And away from the ball. And there's a technical foul called on John Starks. The personal on Starks away from the ball. And that's the second time that he's had a vehement reaction. And this time there was no patience from the official. Louis Grillo. There's the reaction, stamping the floor. John Starks hit with the tee. Apparently a double foul on Anderson and Starks. That's what Starks was complaining about. He thought it should have been strictly Willie Anderson's foul. Now John making amends with the official.
Yes, agreeing with the official, like the gentleman.
You were right after all. I'm so sorry that I reacted to that manner. I believe that's what he said, John.
If that's what a glance could communicate.
Yes. 5-point Knick lead. Person with the room. Charles Smith for Charles Oakley. The Knicks by 7.
Well, Charles Smith is now wheeling and dishing very nicely.
You're so flexible with the phraseology.
Don't you get the sense that he is wheeling, Marv? I mean, the guy is moving.
Traveling violation. Good run here by the Knicks. They lead by 7. And Starks was shoved by Cummings. That is his first.
Charles Smith moments ago drawing the attention of two defenders and finding the cutting Charles Oakley nicely.
Starks, there was a three-point attempt. Anderson for Cummings. The Knicks lead 64-59. Light pressure being shown by the Spurs. Moses Malone getting set to check back in. Played briefly in the first half. Oakley. Little hook move, baby hook thrown by Oakley.
His position was recognized by Harper.
Oakley has 8 points, and the Knicks lead by 7. Here's Avery Johnson for 3. Well, he drills it from deep in the corner. So the Knicks with a 66-62 lead. We come up on 4 minutes to go, third quarter.
That was only Johnson's second three-pointer of the season.
And a blocking foul charged to Robinson. That's only his first foul. And here's Moses. Moses Malone checking in. Played 5 minutes in the first half and hit 2 of 3 from the field. Ewing facing a double team combination of Robinson and Malone, and leaves Oakley open. Charles Oakley given the room.
You can see him clicking off the decisions as he went about a process which ended up very nicely.
Malone. Three and a half remaining. Third quarter, Knicks take a timeout. It's the Knicks 68. San Antonio Spurs 62.
Introducing the JVC Easy One, the first point-and-shoot camcorder.
It's so easy, you'll fall in love.
Don't miss the 10th annual preseason NIT at Madison Square Garden. Big East favorite Syracuse headlines the 16-team field fighting for a trip to the Big Apple. Also featured are ACC Power Virginia, defending Ivy League champ Penn, Alabama, and Memphis. Catch the semifinal doubleheader action on November 23rd, followed by the championship doubleheader November 25th. The 10th annual preseason NIT. Get your tickets now.
It's the Knicks and you know we're amazing. Catch all the action on a #1 station. For Knickerbocker games, there's one place to be. It's the New York Knicks on MSG. MSG, yeah, we got it going on. With Oakley and Ewing playing all season long. And the rest of the crew on the station that kicks. It's MSG and the New York Knicks. Say go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go!
It's the Knicks versus the Hornets Saturday after a special edition of New York Knicks Game Night on MSG.
New York, go!
City sidewalks, busy sidewalks, dressed in holiday style. In the air, there's a feeling of Christmas. Silver bells.
Right now, thousands of New Yorkers need warm coats. Please, give your used coats to the New York Cares Coat Drive.
Don't miss the all-new holiday musical from the composer of Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast, A Christmas Carol, at the Paramount November 23rd through January 1st, presented by Nobody Beats the Wiz. Tickets are on sale now at the Garden Box Office and all Ticketmaster outlets. Tomorrow at 8 o'clock, tune into Behind the Scenes at MSG, A Christmas Carol, for a backstage look at the Paramount's new and exciting holiday musical right here on the MSG network.
Three and a half to go in the third, and the Knicks with the ball, lead by 6. Knicks remain the same following the timeout. Shot clock is at 7. Ewing over Malone. So Bob Hill choosing to go with the combination of the two natural centers, David Robinson and Moses Malone up front, along with Kerry Cummings. Big lineup on the floor. Chuck Person at a big guard, along with the point man, Avery Johnson. Harper sets up Oakley, but the Knicks will regroup. And here's Harper. It was kind of a surprising shot by Derek, particularly the way the Knicks have been working the ball.
Yes, he looked like he was going to get into a flow of passing, but sometimes that move is good, though, because it deceives the defense, who thought the same way.
Avery Johnson took a push. It's on Charles Smith, his second. So both teams with 4 team fouls. Anthony Mason replacing Charles Smith, who has had another good one. 10 points for Smith. The Knicks lead by 6. Trying to get a split of the home-and-home season series, losing in San Antonio 9 days ago. Malone lost it. Ewing could not hold on. It is still San Antonio's possession. 9 on the shot clock. Person being guarded by Starks. Oh, what a move by Chuck Person. 7 of 11, 17 points.
He's 6'8", and he instinctively knew he could shoot over Starks, and he put all he could into it, and it worked out just fine.
And at the other end, he's guarding Starks. Avery Johnson trying to slap it off Patrick Ewing. Last touch by Johnson. Herb Williams now comes on for Patrick Ewing. Ewing leads with 13 points, 6 rebounds.
Patrick 5 of 15 from the field tonight for the 13 points.
And Harper sits down. Anthony replacing Harper. And Chris Whitney will come on to take the point guard position. Avery Johnson get a rest. Chris Whitney in a second year out of Clemson, a second-round draft pick last season. And he is matched with Starks. It's Person now guarding Anthony. Starks for 3, way off. Rebounded by Cummings. John Starks now 2 for 7 from downtown.
John is back to the low 40s from the field now for the season. 42% coming in tonight.
Last couple of games contributing to that. Tonight Starks is 4 for 10. We come up on a minute remaining in the third. Anthony for 3. Yes. Greg Anthony hitting on his second three-pointer.
You know, Mark, Greg Anthony has really performed well this season, backing up Derek Harper. He's always ready to play, and he's delivered.
Offensive foul on David Robinson.
It's a Perry Ellis look now at the Knicks on their last offensive sequence. Greg Anthony with the three-point shot.
And the start of Greg Anthony, in contrast to what took place last season where he did not get off well. A steal by Cummings. Half minute to go, third quarter. Robinson over Mason. 19 for Robinson. The Knicks 71, the Spurs 66. 20 seconds left in the third quarter. And the Knicks looking to hold for a final shot.
Greg Anthony calling out a play.
Down to 5 seconds. Hubert Davis coming off the pick. Anthony for three. Would have been a buzzer three for Anthony, who was right on target. The Knicks by 5 as we head to the fourth.
Everybody limbo! Tonight's winner limbo's home with Bud Light.
Oh, really?
Lord.
Oh, my.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Not low enough.
This holiday season, while you're shopping, we'll be dropping a ton of money in the Discover Card Big Payback. Now, every time you use your card, you're automatically entered in our holiday sweepstakes. The more you shop, the more chances you have to win. Weekly bonus prizes of $50,000 or land the ultimate $1 million grand prize. It pays to discover. The card with the big payback.
Mrs. Humpty?
What is it, Earl?
Well, it's about Humpty.
Yes?
Ned and I have been thinking this through for a while and it don't add up. Humpty was a pro. He'd never just lose his balance. We think Humpty was pushed.
Oh, no!
My Next. More information, more solutions, more stuff.
Introducing the JVC Easy One, the first point-and-shoot camcorder.
It's so easy, you'll fall in love.
Well, the Knicks are happy that the walking wounded is getting better. Doc Rivers, a happy man, as is Anthony Bonner at the end of the Knicks bench at the end of 3 quarters tonight. Anthony Bonner before the game showing the glistening sweat doing wind sprints with Greg Brittenham, the Knicks strength and conditioning coach. Greg setting the pace. Anthony Bonner hanging with him. Bonner's due back soon.
Knicks will have some decisions to make in terms of the roster. Anthony Bonner out after undergoing the arthroscopic surgery of the right knee. Doug Christie coming off ankle surgery. Doc Rivers out with a sprained left ankle, and there will be some decisions that will have to be made. On to the fourth quarter, and the Knicks with a 71-66 lead on the San Antonio Spurs. Pat Riley staying with Greg Anthony and Hubert Davis in the backcourt. Up front he has Herb Williams with Charles Oakley and Anthony Mason. 3-second violation. Chris Whitney being played by Greg Anthony. Terry Cummings posting up. And bottled up by Charles Oakley. Foul committed by Cummings. Nice play by Oakley. San Antonio with 17 turnovers now. The Knicks have 11. The Knicks have led virtually all the way. They've led by as many as 8. Charles Smith getting set to return. Shot clock at 3. Mason with a power move, but it will not count. It's an offensive foul. Anthony Mason clearing out as he made that move.
Dynamite move, though, as Mason spins in. Boy, with the fouls he's committed in his career, that one was tough to see in replay. Looked like a very smooth move. You notice, Marv, Anthony Mason is not talking back to the officials tonight nearly as much as he usually does.
Mason picked up his third foul. It has been a quiet game for Anthony Mason. Sean Elliott, quiet verbally, that is. Elliott has 6 points, and he's been quiet offensively.
I was just going to say, speaking of quiet games,
Charles Smith drawing the foul.
It's a very tough game for Sean Elliott to play because of size. The Knicks have a very big front line, whoever is out on the court, and if it's not height, it's strength, as in Anthony Mason. And Sean Elliott has a difficult time at 6'8" at 220 matching up.
Cummings called for that foul, his third. Now Smith looking to post up against Malone. That pass intended for Charles. The way Charles Smith has been playing with the offensive moves, it certainly adds a new dimension to that Knick front line. Nice maneuver by Davis.
Well, he did that Saturday. He drove to the basket very well against Atlanta. He's mixing up his repertoire quite nicely.
Knicks lead by 5. Elliott for 3. And a loose ball foul called on Herb Williams. Herb in a battle for position with Moses Malone.
He's puzzled. Moses also creates contact and has the wonderful ability to get the foul call to go his way.
And a hold on Smith. Suddenly we're hearing the whistles at the start of the fourth quarter. This was a very freewheeling, quick-moving game. Both clubs have 2 team fouls. Whitney. Anderson posting up. Anderson hit the deck. Anthony puts the move on. Right, Anthony connected with the reverse, and the Knicks lead 75-68. Moses blocked by Williams. Herb Williams with the rejection. And Herb hearing the chant from the crowd. Shot clock at 4. Down to 2. Elliott for 3. Sean Elliott just did beat the 24. And the Knicks now lead 75-71. A 3-pointer for Elliott. Reach-in foul. Called on Anderson. Here comes Reed. J.R. Reed is back.
Herb Williams not happy with the last call that went against him, matched up against Moses Malone. More than made up for it with that rejection.
And David Robinson is back. Moses Malone leaves with 4 points. Knicks with the ball. They lead by 4. 3 minutes gone by. We are in the fourth quarter. Marv Albert, John Andres, and Al Troutwig from Madison Square Garden. Herb Williams. Yes.
Herb did not bother to look at who was guarding him. It was Moses Malone a minute ago. So what if David Robinson is there?
Herb has provided a spark here tonight. Whitney gets it back. And the foul against the Knicks. It's on Williams. Avery Johnson coming back on, replacing Chris Whitney. Last season, the Spurs won 55 games, 55-27 to go second in the Midwest Division, but they were knocked off in the first round of the playoffs by Utah. Led to an upheaval as David Robinson is able to hit. Major shuffle. Bob Bass, the vice president of basketball operations, fired. John Lucas walked away to go to Philadelphia. Team's ownership took on a new look. Anthony on a pull-up. Oh, he's feeling it. Greg Anthony with a nice shot.
That's some move. That's some move. So many players try to develop that throughout their career.
Foul on Mason. Greg Anthony with 12 points off 5 out of 6 from the field.
First of all, you got to be able to dribble the ball well, as Greg Anthony does, setting himself up. And then to stop quickly and make that jump shot is not easy. That's a move you build.
The Knicks lead by 6. Robinson won't count a traveling violation. So the Knicks get it back. They lead by 6, just under 8 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. Orlando with a 6-point lead on Miami coming into tonight. The Knicks a half game behind the first place Magic. Anthony Mason.
That is pretty.
10 points for Mason. Playing with 4 fouls. And the call against Herb Williams. Knicks are over the limit. So Robinson will go to the line.
You know, it's a shame, Marv, that players on the same team can't share their moves with their teammates and have the ability to hand over a move to another forward or a center. Mason on that last move, just a classic big man roll to the basket. Too bad other members of the Knicks front line don't share that particular move.
Well, David Robinson now 5 of 6 at the line.
There's a Perry Ellis look at that last Mason move, upper left part of the screen. That's the ball. Just rolls right in. So simple, and yet you rarely see a move like that.
Robinson has 22, and the Knicks lead 81-74. Score from Orlando in the third quarter. The Magic 76, Miami Heat 70. Knicks will have 14 on the shot clock. Knicks staying with this combination. Anthony and Davis in the backcourt. Herb Williams at center. Charles Smith and Anthony Mason at the forward spots. Shot clock at 5. Davis. Charles Smith stepping out. Spurs able to work it around to Elliott. Sean Elliott showing some signs after the slow start. He now has 11, and San Antonio is within 5. And the rifleman about to re-enter. He has had the hot hand. Chuck Person will check in a moment. Davis, yes. Stepped on the line. That's a 2-pointer. The Knicks lead by 7.
That's a cocky move by Hubert Davis. He was going to look and get the ball inside, but he decided to take over the situation himself.
6 points for Davis. Robinson blocked by Williams. But Davis deflected it out. Herb Williams with the rejection, and here's it as the Spurs take time.
Honey, I think I'm in labor.
But you're not due for 2 months.
I know.
Alongside me, I'll tell you no lie. And then you'll see another country.
Very good, very good.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain. We'd like to welcome that new passenger on board.
There's only one Jeep, and it's only at your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealers.
6:05 remaining in this fourth quarter. The Knicks lead by 7, and the Knicks getting a balanced attack this evening against the San Antonio Spurs. Patrick Ewing 13 points, 12 apiece for John Starks, Greg Anthony, and 10 apiece for Anthony Mason, Charles Smith, and Charles Oakley. 6 players in double figures. Patrick Ewing is back, coming on for Herb Williams, who has had another solid performance.
Foul shooting's interesting tonight, Marv. The Knicks have been to the line only 9 times, have made 7. San Antonio 11 for 14. Different from the last time when San Antonio had a plus 16 foul shots over the Knicks.
Robinson with the tip. So David Robinson has 24 points, but you don't get the feeling of domination, and that was the case in that earlier meeting in San Antonio.
Patrick Ewing only has 3 fouls. He's got to stand up to Robinson now a bit.
Ewing comes to Smith, but a loose ball foul is called. Smith feels that the San Antonio players made the contact with each other, and Charles ended up with the ball, but the foul is called on Smith, and that is his 4th. Crowd reacting because up above Garden Vision showing a replay, and seems to bear out what Charles had to say.
Charles coming in from the left there. Certainly looks like he pushed J.R. Reed from behind. Well, look that way to the official.
So J.R. Reed converting on both. He has 8, and the Knicks now lead by 3. Oakley, yes, and it counts. Nice pass from Ewing. Elliott called for the foul.
Once again, we see an example of a player enjoying giving the pass for success as opposed to scoring it. Nice move by Oakley. Patrick Ewing very animated in his response after the successful play by Charles Oakley and Patrick.
5 fouls on Sean Elliott, and he will sit down. 5:21 remaining in the 4th quarter.
The Knicks have been able to sustain all the runs that San Antonio has put up. They've been holding on amazingly long to this 5-7 point lead throughout.
Greg Anthony being rewarded for the good play, getting the playing time here in the 4th quarter. Matched up with Avery Johnson. Robinson off the fake. It counts, and the foul. Ewing bought it, and then Robinson was met by Oakley, who was called for the personal.
This is a listen and look replay.
Oh, yeah, oh, shit, this fella.
Well, we are on cable television. So certain things, I guess, are permitted.
Thanks, big fella.
Yes. Robinson missed the free throw, not able to convert on a 3-point opportunity. Illegal defense called for the first time. So the warning provided. The Knicks get a new 24. Just under 5 minutes to go in this 4th quarter, and the Knicks with a 4-point lead.
The Spurs should continue to pour that ball into David Robinson.
Well, San Antonio gets it back. It's only the 13th turnover for the Knicks. Spurs with 18. And this call away from the ball against the Knicks. It's on Starks, and that is his 4th. Looks like Willie Anderson was shaken up.
Yes, he collided with Patrick Ewing at the foul line by accident.
And at first a 20-second timeout was called. Now they've changed it to a full timeout.
Say go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York!
It's the Knicks versus the Hornets Saturday after a special edition of New York Knicks Game Night on MSG.
This deal destroys lives. This deal can also destroy lives. If you want to gamble, that's your business. If you want to stop, that's ours. Gamblers Anonymous. In Nassau, 516-586-7171. In Suffolk, 516-665-6660. In New York City, 212-265-8600. If gambling becomes a problem, call us.
December fires up a great month of holiday sports action on MSG Network. The New York Knicks tip off against some NBA powerhouses. They take on the New Jersey Nets, the Cleveland Cavaliers, plus Grant Hill and the Detroit Pistons. Tune in to MSG before most Knicks games and catch the pregame show that brings you all the latest info. Al Trotwick hosts Knicks Game Night. College basketball kicks into high gear with one of the biggest events of the season. Don't miss all the action as St. John's battles in the Chemical Bank ECAC Holiday Festival from the Garden. Stay tuned after most Knicks home games and catch some of the biggest stars in sports and showbiz. Mike Francesa and Kathleen Murphy host live from the play-by-play. Stay on top of all the New York Jets news with interviews, features, and highlights on the Nobody Beats the Wiz Jets Journal. Take full swings at today's hard-hitting sports issues with the man who pulls no punches. Bob Page hosts Page One. Plus, you can always get all the scores and stories every night with MSG Sports Desk. Have a holiday slam with all the great December sports action on MSG Network, the best in the game.
Following Knick basketball, star-studded lineup. On live from the play-by-play. David Gabor, Al Franken, Dan Rather, Jackie Mason with his NFL picks. There's Al. I was talking with Al earlier, John, at halftime as you were making your social rounds, and he mentioned that he has based his character on Saturday Night Live on you. I'm good enough, smart enough, doggone it, people like me.
Bob, you know, I was hoping that would always be our secret. But I do like Al's sweatshirt. I didn't know the Grateful Dead had a basketball team. Funny how you hang around the Garden, you continue to learn things about hoops.
Perhaps inspired by Bill Walton, who I believe has set records for attendance at
That's right.
Grateful Dead concerts. Knicks with an 86-83 lead as we come up on 4 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. And Greg Anthony remaining on the floor here down the stretch. Kick ball, Knicks get the new 24. Pat Riley with a backcourt of Starks and Anthony. Up front he has Ewing, Oakley, and Mason. Now Derek Harper getting set to come on. Mason with the fake. Try to get it to Ewing. And deflected out by the Spurs. So here's Derek Harper for Greg Anthony. 5 of 6, 12 points for Anthony. Shot clock is at 10. Starks had nowhere to go. Shot clock at 5. Starks fires it. And it will be San Antonio ball.
Bob Hill is most proud of his team's defense on that sequence. Marv, I mentioned the Spurs should go to Robinson. Ewing is playing him softly. He doesn't want fouls, even though he only has 3.
The Knicks have led most of the way. They've led by as many as 8. Last time the Spurs had a lead as a 1-point margin late first quarter. Robinson blocked by Ewing. So Ewing that time came out aggressively.
Yes, he answered.
Mason. The Knicks lead 88-83.
Look at the difference when Ewing is a bit aggressive on defense.
3 blocks tonight for Patrick Ewing. 3 minutes to go in the fourth. And the foul is called. Pat Riley does not like the call. John Oakley, that is his 5th.
Last time down, Patrick Ewing got a piece of that David Robinson jump shot. Nicely done by Ewing, and that turned into 2 points for the Knicks. Anthony Mason down low. In transition, the Knicks were successful, and Mason loved it. Next time down, Robinson drove the ball, drew the fouls.
Well, David Robinson hit his first 5 at the line, and then has struggled 6 for 9 at the line. They made a correction on that last foul call. It's on Ewing, not Oakley. So Oakley has 4, and Ewing has 4. The Knicks lead 88-84. 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. Oakley, yes. Charles hitting the outside shot. Overall, he's 7 of 10. He has 15 points. The Knicks by 6. Reed going at Oakley. Strong move by J.R. Reed to bring the Spurs within 4.
J.R.'s earned respect from his coach the hard way, but he's been getting the playing time.
10 points for Reed. Down to 6 on the 24. Nice pass again. Ewing for Oakley. A combination that has worked with Oakley, the cutter. And the foul called on Reed, his 4th.
A regular part of the Knicks offensive diet is the ball goes into Ewing and you cut and you get the ball back, as Charles Oakley did. Another look at it. J.R. Reed could not get in front of Oakley, and that floor was costly.
Oakley to the line. He's 1 for 1 at the line.
You got it?
Charles, 78% free throw shooter this season. 2 minutes, 8 seconds remaining in the fourth.
Hey, get up!
The Knicks lead 91-86. The Knicks trying to make it 2 in a row at home. After beating Atlanta on Saturday night, Spurs trying to make it 2 straight on the road. They won in Minnesota Saturday. Crowd wanted to travel, then Ewing with a block, but a foul call. And that is number 5 on Patrick Ewing.
That's a hard one to accept from the Knicks viewpoint. Robinson winding his way in there. Ewing coming at him aggressively. Another look at it now. It looks like Robinson is stopped, but he keeps the ball. Ewing leaves him, then comes back. Looks like a block. The official saw some contact with the body, however. And boy, pretty clear that the Spurs are going to David Robinson every time.
Robinson, 7 of 10 at the line.
I would expect that the Knicks would make a change and put Charles Oakley on Robinson, or even Anthony Mason at this point with 1:51 left.
The Knicks 91, the Spurs 87. It is down to a 3-point lead. A minute 45 remaining in the fourth. Illegal defense called for the second time, so a technical foul awarded to the Knicks. Knicks looking at the bench for the indication as to who will take it. It will be Oakley.
That could have been another example of Charles Oakley above tip of circle, and his man J.R. Reed had his foot below the foul line. He's got to be above the foul line if his man is above the circle.
Well, Charles Oakley, 2 out of 4 at the line. But the Knicks with a new possession, 24 on the clock. Minute and a half remaining in this fourth quarter. Knicks with a 3-point lead. Oakley. Rebounded by Mason.
So tough to get an offensive rebound when the man that's guarding you is in front of you, and Mason did it over Elliott.
And the double. Again, Ewing gets it out. Oakley once again not able to hit. And this time rebounded by the Spurs. Chuck Person pops it ahead. We're down to 1 minute remaining. Fourth quarter. Knicks 91. And the Spurs 88. Avery Johnson facing the trap but lost it. Harper had a notion to break, but the Spurs got back. A combination of Harper and Ewing took it out of the hands of the point guard, Avery Johnson. 35 seconds remaining. 10 on the shot clock.
You know, Oakley doesn't want to take a jumper.
Down to 3. Starks works his way in. Rebound Mason. Anthony Mason with another critical offensive rebound. Oh, Starks had to save it.
They can hold it right to the end.
And the foul is called. Down to 12 and 6/10 seconds. Foul on Johnson.
Star of the last minute is Anthony Mason for his 2 offensive rebounds.
Several key plays here down the stretch. The offensive rebounds by Mason, the one he just grabbed, and the successful trap by the combination of Ewing and Harper to take the ball away from Johnson. Harper providing a 4-point Knick lead. Eric Harper on the line for the first time tonight.
The Spurs come in averaging 105 points a game, and they're at 88 now.
So Harper hits 1 of 2, and a timeout is called by San Antonio. 12 and 1/10 second remaining. The Knicks lead by 4.
We've been called a lot of things.
Whippersnappers! Dreamers!
Prosperous?
Never!
So until
The book deal
or the movie deal hits.
We remember 2 things. Call Everybody Collects.
And
know the code.
Yeah.
Know the code. 1-800-CALL-ATT. It costs less than 1-800-COLLECT. Always.
Now the people we call
might call us thrifty.
Want a price that's always lower than 1-800-COLLECT? Know the code. Dial 1-800-CALLATT.
Your true voice.
For more money, you need Citibank's low-rate home equity loan. Get rates that are low, lower than you think. Come to Citibank for no points, closing costs, mortgage tax, and low interest that may be tax deductible. Come in or call. Find out how much you may be able to borrow. What are you waiting for? Apply by phone today. Call 1-800-321-CITI.
Our Delta Airlines upcoming Knicks schedule. The Knicks have a nice break now till Saturday against Charlotte. Knicks game night 12:30, game 1 o'clock Saturday afternoon. Then they go to Washington for the new look Washington Bullets next Tuesday. Knicks game night 7 p.m. and then Orlando Friday night, the end of next week. So the Knicks have a little cooling off period right now. Well, we have some interesting long-range shooting here. Some information brought to you by our AT&T long-distance shooting information. Chuck Person, number 7 career three-pointers made. Active players going into tonight. Derek Harper right with him. 2 of the best. And we can expect to see Chuck Person in action now if he can get his hands on the ball.
And Person 3 of 6 from downtown. This evening the Spurs have hit 5 out of 13. 4-point Knick lead. 12 seconds to go. And Person, without any hesitation, fires it up. Would you say they were looking for a quick 3, John? 8 seconds to go. And the foul given by Whitney.
Well, you know, had he been fouled on a 3 and made it, oh yes, we could have had a 1-point lead for San Antonio.
So Harper to the line. He's 1 of 2 at the line.
I was talking to Dave Cowens about this man, Bob Hill, before the game. I said, you must be nice working with Bob. Nice guy, easygoing. He said, oh, he's intense. Ooh. It's funny hearing that from Dave Cowens talking about Bob Hill.
Very tough schedule for the Spurs. 14 of the first 17 games against teams that made the playoffs last season. And if they lose here tonight, they're 4-4. Wait a moment. The official, Luis Rio, is upset with the Spurs. Apparently, he felt there was an indication that a timeout was called, a 20-second timeout.
Bob Hill is disagreeing, sending his players right out. There is some intensity coming out of that huddle. But you know, Marv, on the subject of Dave Cowens, every time I see him in a suit and tie now, I expect him to rip his shirt and tie off, you know, and have that Superman look to him and get out there and play, because he looks the same as he did when he was playing for the Celtics and the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yes, he looks in very good shape.
I was talking to him also before the game about knee injuries, seeing if he had a comparative feeling to how Ewing might feel now, and the guy said he never had a knee problem. Boy, a Hall of Fame center who went through his career without a knee problem.
Well, apparently Chris Whitney had asked for a timeout, and it was signaled immediately. Bob Hill wanted it after the free throw. Now the timeout is called with 5 and 8/10 seconds remaining, and the Knicks not able to take advantage at the foul line. They lead by 4.
And remember, you're playing for Bud Light, ladies. The boys are back in town.
These guys are good.
Who are you calling guys?
Yeah.
Looks like you're in the finals. Ma'am, for the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
You're the defending ladies pool champion?
Yes, I am.
Black Jesus, Magic, the Pearl, you know, hasn't really helped. All that herky-jerky, jackknifing, and spinning was necessary for me to get my shot off. So if he moves that way and you go that way, then you moving and doing it, your little dips and doos and whatnot. Sometimes I'd surprise myself. Sometimes when I'd spin, I'd do something in the midst of doing it, I'd say, damn, Earl, that was beautiful.
5 and 8/10 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. San Antonio has one timeout remaining, and they are trailing by 4 points, 92-88. The Knicks have a restful week. Quirk of the schedule, John. They do not play again until Saturday afternoon, and Knicks game night, so to speak, will begin at 12:30, and game time will be at 1 o'clock. The Knicks and the Charlotte Hornets here at the Garden.
One good thing out of tonight, Marv, is the apparent health of Patrick Ewing. I mean, everybody was stopping everybody concerned with the Knicks, saying, hey, is Patrick okay? Is this serious? What's going on with Ewing? And he came out and had a good run tonight and looked quite normal.
Try to get it back to Person for another three-point fling. As time runs out, that was Corey Crowder attempting the three, and the Knicks defeat the San Antonio Spurs 92-88 to get a split of the season series. The Knicks go to a record of 6-3, while San Antonio drops to 500 at 4 up and 4 down. A solid effort by the Knicks, getting balanced scoring. Al will have the complete recap in a moment. We'll be back here at Madison Square Garden after these words.
Bart and I are going to make you real happy. Right, Bart? Right, Phil. We're going to save you a lot of money. Right, Bart? Right, Phil. How? Whiz Bucks, Bart. Giant size savings from Nobody Beats the Whiz. Giant size savings, Phil? Over $2,000, Bart. TVs, camcorders, computers, audio components, cameras, cellular phones, music and movies. Just cut out the Whiz Bucks and save money. Right, Phil? Right, Bart. Whiz Bucks, a giant size way of saying nobody beats the Whiz.
This holiday season, while you're shopping, we'll be dropping a ton of money in the Discover Card Big Payback. Now, every time you use your card, you're automatically entered in our holiday sweepstakes. The more you shop, the more chances you have to win. weekly bonus prizes of $50,000 or land the ultimate $1 million grand prize. It pays to discover. The card with the big payback.
Go ahead, it's my treat. Go ahead.
Sorry, I don't have exact change.
No problem. I do.
New York Lotto. Hey, you never know.
Special Toyota news. Your Toyota dealer's having an inventory reduction sale. To reduce inventory before January, every Toyota must go. Every Camry will be sold or leased at big savings. Get huge incentive savings on 94 Camrys. Lease a 95 Camry with an amazingly low monthly payment. At $239 a month, all that Camry quality becomes very affordable. Or buy with no down payment, no payments until next year. Don't miss the savings. Your Toyota dealer's inventory sale absolutely ends December 5th.
A reminder from MetLife. It's especially important to buy life insurance when there's a new pup in arms in the family. Kitty-kitty-coo! Whole life insurance can give parents peace of mind. From puppyhood through the turbulent teens. As well as savings for higher education. So he can get a good job. Get in touch with your MetLife rep and find out what whole life can do for you. Get Met. It pays.
It was a very tight game throughout. The Knicks not as dominant as the Spurs were on their home court, but they'll take the win and the split. 92-88 tonight. It wasn't necessarily the points that were scored down the stretch that were so key, but the offensive rebounding of Anthony Mason. Not once, but twice in the second minute of the game, and that made the minute evaporate all the more quickly from the San Antonio Spurs standpoint. A rushed shot by John Starks with the 24-second clock counting down, and the huge offensive rebound that came the Knicks' way with less than 24 seconds on the clock, and that completely changed the complexion of the game. We've only just begun in our post-game coverage, but to bring you up to date with the latest from the sports desk, here's Bob Page.
Thanks, Al. Just a couple other games scheduled in the NBA tonight, and people around the league continuing to ask, what were they thinking about in Miami when they dismantled this team? The Heat are an absolute embarrassment now. They will be 1-7 after tonight. They are losing big at Orlando in the fourth quarter of that one. About 2.5 minutes left in the game. Brian Hill and company coming off their victory in the Meadowlands Arena over the Nets on Friday night. Never in trouble here. Shaquille O'Neal hit his first 5 shots. Jams there on the pass from Anderson. Now, Orlando did lead by just 5 at halftime, then blew it open in the third quarter. Penny Hardaway had 17 points in that quarter alone. He has 30 on the night so far. Kevin Willis, 20 points, leads Miami to this point. The other one in the league this evening has Phoenix trying to win his 5th straight game, playing at Utah and beating the Jazz in the second quarter. And the Monday night football game has been just as bad as advertised so far. The Giants and the Oilers, no scores. They play in the second quarter. Giants starting quarterback Dave Brown has just been knocked from the game, and Kent Graham is in. Another report from us later on during Live from the Play-by-Play. We'll head back to courtside in just a moment.
Go ahead, it's my treat. Go ahead.
Sorry, I don't have exact change.
No problem. I do.
New York Lotto. Hey, you never know.
An instant cash game where you can win $1,000 a week for the rest of your life. I feel very happy. I'm excited.
Great! $1,000 for the rest of my life. Keep it coming.
Win for life from the New York Lottery. You keep living, we'll keep paying.
I want to live forever.
Schedule a meeting. Take the shuttle. Then cross your fingers. Schedule a meeting. Take Amtrak's Metroliner. Then cross your legs. Metroliner. The smarter shuttle.
Aspirin. 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 Give me some aspirin! Pounding dunks. NBA Live 95. EA Sports.
Anybody can take you to the top of a mountain, but when you come down out of the clouds, you need the strength for what you face every day. Introducing the all-new Jimmy, for the way you really drive. See the all-new Jimmy at your Tri-State GMC truck dealer today.
The New York Knicks over the San Antonio Spurs, 92-88. As we welcome you back inside the arena here at the Garden. The leading scorers summary is brought to you by your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealers. There's only one Jeep, and it's only at your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealers. Notice the balance for the Knicks. As I said, 9 different players played tonight, and they all scored. Double figures aplenty for Charles Oakley, who scored 16, grabbed 6 rebounds. Patrick Ewing with 13.7 rebounds, a few too many turnovers. John Starks, one of those nights, 4 of 12, 12 points. When was the last time you saw John not score at all in the fourth quarter? Anthony Mason, perfect, 5 for 5 from the floor, 12 points and 4 rebounds. 2 of those offensive rebounds in the last minute that we showed you moments ago. Another solid evening for Greg Anthony. Charles Smith with 10 and 3 rebounds. The Knicks story tonight. As for the San Antonio Spurs, David Robinson not doing the damage that he did in the meeting 9 days ago in the Alamo Dome, but he did score 29, 10 of those in the fourth quarter, grabbing 12 rebounds and shooting 10 of 19 from the floor. The Rifleman Chuck Person added 17 off the bench, shooting 7 of 12. Elliott had 11. J.R. Reed was effective in spurts at 10. The beauty of this game tonight at Madison Square Garden was that it was always close. The biggest lead was held by the Knicks. It was 8 points. So no team went to double digits in terms of a lead in the game. It's very rare that you see that. Statistician Eric Merlis also points out that in the fourth quarter, no team was able to go on a run that was higher than 4-0. So that set the stage for a very close finish, and we did have that. It was Knick defense, Derek Harper steal, and the offensive rebounding of Anthony Mason that did the trick for the Knicks in the fourth quarter and the final minute. We're scheduled to talk with Anthony Mason as we continue postgame here at the Garden. 92-88 the final. To Marv Albert once again.
All right, Al, so the Knicks with a record of 6-3, and San Antonio now 4 up and 4 down. The Knicks go to 4-0 here at Madison Square Garden. The Knicks and the Charlotte Hornets on Saturday afternoon here at the Garden. Knicks game night, pregame show at 12:30, and we'll be on hand 1 o'clock as Patrick Ewing goes up against Alonzo Mourning and the Hornets. Anthony Mason is our guest in just a moment on the Knicks postgame report. Marv Albert with John Andres saying so long from the Garden. Madison Square Garden announcers clothing is provided by Perry Ellis Menswear. Stay tuned for Al and the Knicks postgame report.
New York Knicks basketball has been brought to you by Ice Draft. Taste the future of draft beer. New Ice Brewed Ice Draft from Budweiser. By Head & Shoulders and Head & Shoulders Dry Scalp. Turns dandruff problems into great-looking hair. By AT&T International Business Services. Let AT&T work for you. By the Discover Card, the card with the big payback. And by Nike, who encourages you to participate in the lives of America's youth.
Do you know me? You may not recognize me without my hair. I'm Cy Sperling, Hair Club's first client. And since 1968, I've helped thousands of men with thinning hair. If you have thinning hair, this booklet is something you should have. It covers transplants, weaving, fusion, minoxidil, and proper hair care. So call our toll-free number now to get your free booklet. You saw the difference it made for me, and look what it did for our clients. So call our toll-free number now to get your free booklet.
Don't miss the 10th annual preseason NIT at Madison Square Garden. Big East favorite Syracuse headlines the 16-team field fighting for a trip to the Big Apple. Also featured are ACC Power Virginia, defending Ivy League champ Penn, Alabama, and Memphis. Catch the semifinal doubleheader action on November 23rd, followed by the championship doubleheader November 25th. The 10th annual preseason NIT. Get your tickets now.
The new and improved Knicks postgame report. We welcome you back live to Madison Square Garden, where the Knicks have beaten the San Antonio Spurs in a close one throughout. 92-88 the final. The Knicks with the victory to split the season series. We've talked about it already postgame, but Anthony Mason's efforts in this one, really something to remember. 5 for 5 from the floor. Of course, that's the power dunk and the big rebounds. And we don't only have Anthony Mason on the floor with us, we have a young guy who's going to see this videotape 15 years from now and not believe it. This is Antoine, and you can see he's already got the hair statement going on. He's got the cut. What do you think about seeing yourself on TV? And Macy's watching the open to the postgame show saying, there's John Starks, there's Patrick Ewing. How did Daddy play today?
Hey, Daddy.
Hey, Mace, this was an important win for the team, I would think, because of what happened in San Antonio. Do you use that to effectively get yourself a little bit more ready or not?
Well, not only that, you also use the fact that we're home and we want to be dominant home. We let a few games get away from us last year that could have possibly cost us a home court advantage, and we want to establish a dominant presence here. So any team that come in here, we want to have the same posture. We did have in the back of our mind that they spanked us good down in San Antonio, though.
Now, your game face is usually a pretty intense one. Tonight I sensed a little bit more of an intense edge, almost an angry game face down the stretch of this one.
Oh, yeah, we had started letting it slip away, making mistakes, and they're a very good team. They kept coming at us, and we didn't want to let it get away. So everybody's game expression, I think, was pretty much the same.
It's nice to get somebody to talk about the game and say, hey, this is what I did on that shot, but it's not rare. It's not too often that we get a guy to say, here's what I did to get that rebound. But these offensive rebounds were so big in the last minute. That's what we're going to show. Maybe you can tell us how you pull it off.
Well, on this one, you just try to establish position and keep a body on somebody, and at the last second, the ball is free, and you got to go up and get it. If you keep bodying and bumping, you stand just as much chance as anybody else of getting a rebound.
Yeah, 1 against 4, you just try to keep messing around and hope something happens, and it did.
And keep them off balance. They're great athletes. They're a great rebounding team, and we tried to out-rebound them. I think they got us tonight, but we got the victory.
Now, earlier in the game, there was another sequence where you create the steal, and then you have enough sense to know that this play is not going to end until it's over because it's a Nick fast break. I forget who missed the layup, but you follow from starting the play to the finish to tap it in. That's something that you've got to be thinking about, right?
Well, I've been finding that out more this year. If you notice, about 2 or 3 games, I followed some people to the basket, and I either got a defensive rebound or offensive rebound. The play's never over to the ball go through the net, I found out this year.
Now, after getting home from the West Coast trip, you want to get home, you want to get that winning feeling again. Does the team, you think, have that feeling back?
Yeah, we definitely want to get home. It was only a week, but it seemed like a month when you're out there losing. So we came back, we won a few games, and we've got to keep working hard. We still making a few mistakes. We still want to get back our defensive posture. And once we do that, we're going to be the same team we were last year, maybe even better.
When the season started, the Knicks were talking about running and scoring a lot of points on transition, and then there was a thought maybe during the West Coast trip, let's put the brakes on that a little bit. Do you think that threw a little confusion into what the focus was for this team for a little while?
Well, see, the Knicks are best when they're just playing and not thinking, and for us to throw in something new after being the same way for 3 years, I guess we started thinking too much and we made too many mistakes. Just like on defense, when we start thinking, we make mistakes, and we're just better playing, playing naturally without thinking about the game, just playing the game.
Things are never the same one night to the next, but lose by 19 in one game, away, of course, win by 4 here in a tremendously different game. What's the reason for that?
Well, it's pretty much they got on top of us and kept beating us into the ground down there. This time, we knew what to expect. I think we probably got a little complacent knowing that we beat them 2 games in the preseason. They weren't near the same team in the regular season, and we gave them their respect by giving them no respect, and we had to come back out here and just play hard.
The biggest celebration by Patrick Ewing tonight was off an assist, and that seemed to be something the team was doing very well tonight. The ball movement, all the scorers in double figures, and everybody who played scored.
So, yeah, that's very important for us to become, more assist-minded also. We have, I think, great low post scorers. I think we have great shooters, but if we can add assists to our game, it's going to make us a more dangerous team.
Now, fans might say, oh, the Knicks have 5 days off. This is going to be a breeze, but then, of course, they've got to deal with Pat Riley's practices. Is it going to be a breeze or is it going to be tough?
No, we don't want it to be a breeze. Like I said, we're still making a few mistakes that we all can see, and we want to fine-tune ourselves and get back to where the Knicks are very efficient defensively and offensively.
Mace, thanks very much. Antoine, thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Anthony. All right, Anthony Mason tonight. As you can tell, this Knicks team stays focused either whether they win or whether they lose. And for being with us, Anthony Mason will receive the first of many American Express gift checks. Think of it as a universal certificate that can be used to buy anything just about anywhere. Gift checks are available where American Express travelers' checks are sold. And some of our guests also received gifts by Carl Kanai, inspired by the streets of Brooklyn. Carl Kanai footwear is available at Dr. J's. Recognize the collection that symbolizes unity and power. Carl Kanai. And tonight's guests will receive dinner for 2 at Martini's Restaurant, located at 53rd and 7th, an Italian trattoria with New York City's largest outdoor cafe. Another fine Reese restaurant. We'll hear from the head coach of the Knicks, Pat Riley, in his post-game press conference in a game in which the Knicks held on throughout to win by 4.
For more money, you need Citibank's low-rate home equity loan. Get rates that are low, lower than you think.
Come to Citibank for no points, closing costs, mortgage tax, and low interest that may be tax deductible. Come in or call. Find out how much you may be able to borrow. What are you waiting for? Apply by phone today. Call 1-800-321-CITI.
Note software is transforming business.
This level of collaboration, this mind sharing has never been possible before.
10,000 people working in sync.
From Tokyo to Munich to Moscow.
A good idea can come from anywhere, anytime.
More than email, more than document management.
Notes creates a community of shared knowledge.
The entire company is like a virtual team. Notes software is how work is getting done.
When you read the New York Times, people think you like to read about international diplomacy and leading indicators, when in fact, a lot of our readers prefer to read about sports.
I always wanted to be a sportscaster, but I just couldn't lose this New York accent.
The New York Times. Read what you like.
It's up, and it's good.
If I had one wish, I would wish that the air would be clean air so everybody could be healthy.
If we didn't have any clean air, we wouldn't have any beautiful plants or cool trees to climb and stuff.
At Exxon, we're doing our part by introducing reformulated gasolines that burn cleaner than ever before.
You want them to grow up so perfect. You want the environment to be so clean for them.
Bart's going to show you how easy it is to save big money with WizBucks. Let's clip them, Phil. WizBucks, a giant-sized way of saying nobody beats the Wiz.
New York Knicks postgame is brought to you by Citibank. For banking anytime, anywhere, any way you choose. At Citibank, the city never sleeps.
Back at the Garden, the Knicks 92 and the San Antonio Spurs 88. The Spurs now losing after winning on the road on Saturday, and you'd expect in a game this close, and it was close throughout. Remember, the biggest lead was single digits in this game, 8 for the Knicks, and the numbers are close. The Knicks were able to get off a few more shots. That's a testament to their work on the boards. Even though the Spurs out-rebounded them, the Knicks also can credit their defense for coming up with a few extra shots. They shot the ball well. They passed the ball extremely well. Those 26 assists helping build up 6 scorers in double figures. The rebounding edge to the Spurs, the turnover edge to the Knicks, and the points off turnovers favoring the Knicks as well. A big difference there, 9 to be exact. Now, as we said, we've got lots more to come in our post-game coverage. Insights from the locker rooms. Michael Kay is in there, so is Gus Johnson. But as is our custom at this point, we turn it over to the head coach for the final word. Here's Pat Riley moments ago.
You know, we're getting slowly but surely back to our game. And, you know, the last 4 games, you know, we've been defending much harder, I think playing better. You know, when we're keeping teams, you know, off the free throw line, it really helps us a lot. And, you know, we had a bad spell in the fourth quarter, but, you know, I thought we got great bench play tonight from Greg Anthony, and Mace. I thought Herb, you know, did a superb job for his minutes and, you know, got a real good lift. You know, I mean, a real big plus with the guys coming off the bench, and did not turn the ball over an inordinate number of times and had a pretty solid game. But we're playing much harder now, and that is the most encouraging thing.
Just seems you're getting back to the style that you wanted all along. The big guys are sharing the ball again. You're protecting the ball fairly well, and you're making stops.
We're getting good balance, you know, and you know, focusing a little more on the 3 spot as an offensive, you know, weapon. You know, both with Mace and Charles, depending on who the smallest guy playing them. But what we have to remember is that, you know, winning teams do things right, and we're going to always try to do things right. But championship teams, they do all the right things and make the right choices, and it's not just on the court; it's off the court. It's really getting to accepting your role and getting your team in a right frame of mind. And I think we're slowly but surely getting back there. There's been as much clutter and distractions and baggage and stuff going on with our team for 2 months, and you know, once we can get back just, you know, doing the right things, then I think we're going to be okay.
Is this gradual process you see come through in practice or anything?
Well, it's just sort of, I don't know. It's, you know, it's been injuries, and you know, guys accepting roles and, all of this stuff. And we just got to get back to defensive rebounding, tough play, and at the same time not making a lot of, silly fouls that get us in trouble and turning the ball over at the other end. I mean, it's coming, and I'm encouraged by the defensive intensity that we've showed the last 4 games.
Can you sense any difference in the confidence level of Charles Smith this year, especially on the offensive end?
Yeah. I've always believed that, when we got Charles, that he could be a force. And from day one that we got him, he's been up and down with, with the injury problems. And he's feeling good. His knees are feeling good. I think, we have shortened our practices, but the practices are more intense. They're just not as long. And we have to maintain some of the guys that have knee problems. So he has a lot of confidence offensively. And we have that in him, too, because we keep going to him.
Just comment on Patrick. I mean, his turnovers were high, but
he's just, his game's coming. As long as he's playing hard and trying to rebound the ball and all of the little touch skill things that that I think repetition in practice and repetition in games, brings. That stuff will come, but. The recognition of double teams and putting the ball on the floor too many times, I think that will all come. But I thought he had a solid game tonight.
Were you encouraged with Patrick tonight?
Yeah, he felt much better. The knee was really hot, with some pain the last couple of days, and he felt much better. He's working himself into shape, and he's working himself back, and we have to. Be patient in that whole waiting game.
Is it something you're going to have to live with the whole year?
I hope not. I think as he gets in better condition, that will help too. So, but I just hope it's an episode.
What did Greg show you tonight to keep you?
He played very well. Made some big shots, made some good plays for us, and he's been solid.
You guys seem to make a real effort to cut down on Robinson's driving, and he took away his gaps.
He's an incredible player. He's a small forward at 7. He really is. He's very difficult to match up with. They isolate. He is so quick. He's a direct line to the basket. 27 points, 15 rebounds, 12 free throw attempts a game. I mean, you got to contain him. I don't know what he ended up with tonight, but as long as he doesn't go crazy on you. I thought Herb did a real good job on him. And you got to play a step and a half off and maybe encourage him to take the jumper a couple of times, because even if he makes 1 or 2 in a row, it doesn't get him going to the free throw line. It doesn't get him going for second shots. It doesn't get your defense to have to come and help. And so we played them a little bit differently than we did down in San Antonio.
Were you worried about them going big at one point? They had
they were big, yeah.
They were in the back.
Yeah. That was about a 3 or 4 minute stint. I thought we did well against it. Okay?
Okay, Pat, the New York Times Coaches Conference brought to you by the New York Times. Greg Anthony, a large part of the conversation there as the Knicks hold on to win. Front row observers said both coaches were heavily sweating and very drained from a regular season game with bigger implications.